Wednesday. It's host week. It's snowing outside right now. I've had a cookie for breakfast again today. You know, I swear that every day of host week is the best day ever because I get to start it with a cookie. I fuel myself with caffeine throughout the day, and I munch on chocolate caramel candy bars. So welcome to another wonderful day of events just for you, the hosted advisor. I am Steph Lee, the founder of HAR, and your tour guide as we go through host week. So we've got other members of the team. We've got Mary, April, and Maureen. They're hanging out in the comments, and they're going to be doing different sessions throughout the week. So one thing I want to make sure to point out is that while I may be the MC and the one you see very, very frequently, host week would not be possible without the entire HAR team pitching in, creating awesome content, doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So April heads up our Get to Know a Host section, and Maureen is our facilitator for our think tanks and the interactive follow-ups. And Mary is sharing her brilliance about content creation tomorrow in a think tank. So even if you're the most reluctant of writers, make sure to tune in tomorrow because she'll teach you how to create content for your agency site, even if you hate writing. So what do we have in store for you today? So lots and lots of fun. The first thing I want to start off with is our blog of the day. So there's a link in your daily email, and if not, we're going to put the link in the comments right now, but I want to show you this fancy dancy free cruise ship inspection checklist that we have for you. And there's some other sister resources I'm going to cheat and show you as well. So let's see. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. All right, so this is the article on a cruise ship inspection. And you can see, I'm just going to scroll through it really quickly. Lots of information. So it'll give you a lot of questions to ask yourself. If you've never done a cruise ship inspection, great to read. If you've done one, make sure to check it out because there's lots of tips you can pick up in there. But the best part is you get this free resource. So you can print this out beforehand when you go on a ship, and lots of information in here. You can fill it out online, or you can write, with a pen or paper while you're on the trip. But great free resource for you. The other thing I want to show you is if you don't sell cruises, or if you do site inspections too, we have a partner resource to this. And we're going to put a link in the comments to the site inspection article, which is very similar to the cruise inspection article. And then you also get this free resource, which is a site inspection checklist. So again, fill it online, or you can print it off beforehand and put all this information in here. With this one, because we know during fam trips, a lot of times you're seeing multiple sites in one day, we wanted it to be able to be printed off front and back. So it's just 2 pages so that you can hopefully put all that information on one sheet of paper. That did not happen for our cruise ship inspection because there's a lot of info to put on there. And then the last thing I wanted to point out is we also have a new article that is on a cruise packing list generator. So this Mary just came up with and just published it in December. And it's an amazing resource. So this is something that you can customize to your agency and put on your website. All that we ask is that you link back to host agency reviews somewhere on your site, preferably on the page, but somewhere on the site that you link back to this article. So this is kind of the cruise packing list, but this is how easy it is. You embed it on your site. You can upload your logo, and we'll show you how in the article. But you're going to fill out the information and then put the temperatures, and they can select what type of cruise they're going on. And then the nice thing is, as they go along, now all they have to do, we have all the documents that they're going to need. If they're going on a cold weather trip, we have the cold weather clothes on there. If they're going on a Disney one, we have some Disney specific things that we include in here. So all they have to do is go through and be like, oh, I don't need a sewing kit. Oh, I don't wear skirts. I don't wear underwear. Press the next button. And then when they're done and have gone through everything, it's going to send them an email that will have their customized packing list that comes from your agency. So again, this is free. It's really easy. We walk you through how to customize it to your agency and embed it on your site. So we'll put the link to that in the comments as well. All right, so that was a lot of information, but that was a fun start already. So we're only a few minutes in. What else do we have going on today? Well, I am pleased beyond belief to let you know that we have Vicki Freed and Anthony Meloro from Royal Caribbean for our keynotes, and I promise you are going to feel super energized and inspired after you hear what they have to say. Seriously, I heard it and it's fabulous. So right after the keynote, we've got a segment for our Canadian friends out there across the border. The ACTA team, and ACTA is the Association of Canadian Travel Agencies. They're ACTA's counterpart in Canada. They're going to give some great information to all of the advisors across the border. And after that, set your alarms for 1 p.m. Central Time, because we're going to jump into our Get to Know a Host segment with April. And we have on the agenda today Plaza Travel, Travel Edge, Independent by Flight Center, Incentive Connection Travel, and Travel Planners International. And then after you've had your fill of host agencies, we'll change tracks and do a little quick Supplier Love segment at 2:50 Central Time. So if you've never attended our Supplier Love segment, it's essentially just your favorite vendors love bombing you and sending you love letters or videos. So that's the part to pop into for a quick pick-me-up if you wanted. And then we are going to wrap up the day with a think tank from Richard D'Ambrosio, who is going to show you how to craft a founder story that sells. So log in at 3 p.m. Central Time for that. And then before we jump over to our inspiring keynote that I'm so excited about, I wanted to make sure to thank our Host Week sponsors. So we have Uniglobe, Voya Travel, Lavarte Travel, and Nexion Travel Group. So thank you. The whole event is free. And if you have colleagues that you think you would enjoy it or benefit from tuning in, have them RSVP by going to har.news/hostweek. And we are recording these if this is your first time. We are recording them, so if you missed a segment, there's no need to cry. You can always check it out on our YouTube channel under the 2022 Host Week playlist or the Host Week playlist, and then look for the 2022 videos. Well, I cannot wait. And I know you can't wait any longer either. So without further ado, let's hear some from Vicki and Anthony about how to be a value interpreter.
Well, thank you, Stephanie. And man, what an honor it is to be here this week at Host Week. My name is Anthony Meloro, and I'm the director of our business development support team and host agency relations. And today I have the honor of having right next to me our legendary Vicki Freed. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, and hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. Well, Vicki, today we're going to talk to the audience about our being a value interpreter, and what does that mean to you, to myself, and how we can help our travel advisors out there be the best that they can be in these times.
Well, thank you, Anthony. And actually, let's back up for a moment and let's just talk about the role of the travel advisor and the importance of the role that you play in people's vacations. Now more than ever, because of the pandemic, people need vacations. They need a break. They need a break from everyday stress, everyday life, the screens, the Zoom calls, and the best break that people can get to also reconnect with their family and friends is a vacation. And so the role that a travel advisor plays today is even more important than ever before. And people have asked me, well, Vicki, do you think that travel advisors are really needed anymore? And with everybody doing everything online, why are they needed? And I'm going to tell you, you're needed more now than you've ever been needed, because you are that value interpreter. And what do I mean by a value interpreter? Today when a consumer or any of us go online and we Google and we want to learn about vacations or any topic, you get so many opportunities. It's overwhelming. Yeah. And so it becomes what I call consumer confusion. And when the consumer is confused, they say, oh, I give up, because there's too much information. It's information overload. And so the role that you play is one of a value interpreter. You help guide the consumer into making a great buying decision. You see, I have never believed that travel advisors really sell anything. You help guide the consumer into making the right buying decision. And what do I mean by that? When you're selling somebody, you're sitting across the desk from somebody. I'm trying to extract money from you because I want to push a product on you.
That's right.
And when I'm helping to guide you into making a good buying decision, we're really on the same team. We're on the same bench, we're side by side, and I'm going to make sure that you get the best ROI for your vacation dollar. And that's the role that you as a value interpreter play for the consumer, and it's needed now more than ever.
I couldn't agree more. And actually, the way that you put that out there, it makes so much sense, right? And for me, the value interpreter is that person that really knows their product inside and out. The one that, goes above and beyond to really educate themselves on, especially in today's world where things are changing on a minute by minute basis, right? And so what other advice could we give to our advisors out there to continue on that value interpreter path?
Well, I think it's important to be able to define to a consumer when they say, well, why should I use a travel advisor or a travel agent? Can't I just buy everything on my own and call the supplier and book it online? And you have to be able to articulate what you bring to the equation. And you have to think about it. I'm going to give you a great example, and I'm going to use the alphabet, okay? Today, providing good service is standard. You can't say to somebody, if you say, well, why should I do business with you, Vicki? You're a travel advisor. Why? I can't say because I'm going to give you great service. Because if you're not giving great service today in any industry, you don't exist. So that's the basics. And so let's go back to the alphabet and think about the role that you play. Today, everybody is really an O. And what does an O, the letter O means? It means you're well-rounded. You're educated, you have good knowledge of the products, you're providing good service. Mm-hmm. Is an O good? Yeah, an O is good because you've completed the circle. You don't want to be a C where you're missing something. But to really be successful and to lead in the industry, you need to think of yourself as a Q. And what does a Q have that an O doesn't have? A Q has that little extra hook, that little extra something that pulls you apart from all the successful people in the industry who are O's.
Very interesting.
And so you have to think about what is it that you want to be known for. Now, people oftentimes say, okay, Vicki, I want to be a Q, but what is it that will make me a Q? And you see, that's the secret. What makes you a Q is different than what makes other people Q. So you've got to think about your strengths. You've got to think about what you do that really makes you stand out. Because when you're a Q, you're going to get repeat business. People are going to want to refer business to you. And they're going to always stay loyal to you. And loyalty is something that you want to always have with your clients. Because we assume just because we've given somebody a great vacation and great service, they're going to come back. Sometimes they do, and hopefully they do more often than not, but they also do cheat on you, and they cheat on us, and we hate that when that happens, don't we, Anthony?
We do not like cheating.
I mean, when somebody cruises on Royal Caribbean, we want them back on Royal Caribbean, but every once in a while, somebody cheats and goes to another brand, but then we win them back, hopefully. So you think about yourself as a Q, and what's your standout qualities? And it could be that you just remember people's birthdays, your anniversaries. You have all that in your database. So use it to your advantage. And those are the little things, and it really is something simple. Q is something that you can do consistently, and that's a key. Something that's simple, and it makes you be remembered.
I'm writing notes as we speak because this is great information. And so I agree. I can't just provide great service because I think that's the price of admission. Everybody's going to do that, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So taking what we're learning right now, and this is great information, what does the future of cruising hold for all of us?
Oh, it's a bright future. Now, some of you may be thinking, but wait, hasn't your industry been hurt the most during this pandemic? And it has. But what I can share with you, and you know this, Anthony, and I hope all of our travel partners know this, is that we're growing as an industry. I mean, in 2022, we're adding the brand new Wonder of the Seas into our fleet. Last year, we had the Odyssey of the Seas. So as an industry, we're still growing. Yeah, we had a big speed bump this past couple of years, but we're getting over it. And together, together, we're going to be successful. And people want to go on cruises. And that is the #1 seller the travel advisors sell, cruises, over land-based vacation, over all-inclusives. So you want to get up to speed on all things cruises, because the reason it's the #1 seller is because it's a confusing product. So for a consumer to do it on their own, it's not easy, and they need somebody to help guide them. And it also is the highest customer satisfaction level of any type of vacation. So when you sell somebody on a cruise, they're going to come back and they want to go again and again, and they're going to refer people. So what I can tell you, I've been in this business a long time. Every successful agency and advisor depends on repeat and referral business. And when you have repeat and referral business, you'll never have to look for clients, because they will come to you.
That's another great tidbit of advice, and thank you for that. And so, as I think about our roles in this and the partnership that we have with our travel advisors, my team, one of the roles is working with host agencies and independent advisors. And, no matter whether you're independent and out there and you might think, gosh, I don't know who my sales manager is. Guess what? With Royal Caribbean, not only do you have a local strategic account manager or the ability to work with one, you can also have access to our inside sales team, which is also under my vision, and very proud of the team that we have. And they work together to help our travel advisors really work through building business and also supporting the business that's already there.
Oh, absolutely. And some of you might be thinking, but why do I need, or why should I want to be in contact with my local strategic account manager or even an inside person? And it's because they can help you with ideas on how to grow your business. And I have, as you know, been around a long time in this industry, and I talk to a lot of people who are new in the business, and everybody's excited to be in this business. And you should be, because it's a great business. It's a great industry. And you get the education and the knowledge. But what I see as the biggest challenge that new advisors have in our industry is not product knowledge. It really is having the clients and the prospects, and it's having a network of people that you can touch who will do business with you. And that's where your strategic account manager and can give you ideas on how to get that reach, because you want to be successful, but you don't have enough clientele. And so you've really got to figure out how I'm going to get more clients. Now, I'm going to give you a really great tip that's not going to cost you any money, and it's the best way to get clients, okay?
Let's hear it.
You ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, every time I close a sale and every time I get your credit card, I'm going to ask you one question. And ladies and gentlemen, if you ask this question every single time you close a sale, I can guarantee you, statistically, I know this to be factual, you will get one new customer for every 4 times you ask this question. Are you ready? Okay,
I'm ready.
Here's the question. Anthony, I am so excited that you're going on the Oasis of the Seas. You're going to have an amazing time. I'm telling you, I've had so many clients who have come back from the Oasis and they love it. So I wanted to know, is there anyone you can think of that may want to travel with you on this vacation? That's the question. Is there anyone that you can think of that may want to travel with you on this vacation? If you ask that question each and every time and just pause, let Anthony think about it. Anthony may come back and say,
I'd like to think that everybody would want to cruise with me. But I guarantee I have at least 1 or 2 family or friends that actually, we've been planning it with my cousins, and this might be the perfect chance for us to do that.
So that's all you have to do, is let people start thinking, and that's how you'll get a referral. And so, Anthony has children, and his children are active in sports, and maybe he'll say, a friend of mine who was talking about doing a family vacation might want to join us on this vacation. And you just came back from a cruise with lots of people. Yeah. So people want to travel in groups. And so if you ask that question, that's how you'll build your business. And you'll get a referral of somebody that wasn't in your database. It wasn't in your world, in your orbit. You'll get somebody that was in Anthony's orbit. So the question is, Is there anyone that you can think of that might want to travel with you on this vacation? And the worst that can happen is someone says, no, I don't want anybody traveling with me. But more often than not, people are going to say, yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but maybe my sister wants to go. Maybe, a good friend of mine wants to go. And what happens also is sometimes the other people that he will refer to you may not be able to make that exact date, but now they become a prospect for you, and you can build your business that way.
Interesting. So I guess the moral of the story is we don't have to spend millions of dollars on ad campaigns and marketing. We can really just go out there grassroots and call our business just like that.
And that really is true. And listen, we do have co-op dollars. So if you have a great idea and you want to market to the Lions Club, or you want to do something with your local chamber, we can certainly help you with support financially. But it doesn't have to cost you money to get into this business and to be successful. It really is doing the simple little things, being a queue, asking the questions, and just making sure people understand the value that you bring to the equation.
Yeah, makes sense. And, one of the things that I do is I look at what companies are really marketing and promoting heavily right now. And of course, I'm sure you would agree that our commercials are everywhere.
They are.
No matter where you go, they're there. And I know that is the customer is already thinking about us. And so if we just add that little tidbit that you suggested, we can grow the business without really having to spend a lot of money. And that's excellent.
Yeah, and you have to be really skilled at being able to answer some of the tough questions. Some of the objections that people might have. I think the cruise industry has had a black eye a couple years ago, and we're just coming out of it. So if people say, well, I don't know if I really want to go on a cruise, because isn't that like a super spreader event? And I have to tell you, if you know your facts, and the facts are, solid, that cruising is really the safest vacation right now out there.
Sure.
We have the lowest amount of COVID cases. Everybody's
absolutely
vaccinated who is 12 and older on our ships. You need to know this. And so therefore, all of our crew is vaccinated. Almost all of our crew has had the booster. If they're eligible for it, they've had it. And so it is a very safe environment. And the fact that currently everybody has to take a COVID test, even if you're vaccinated, means that when people come on board, they're at the safest moment that they could be for life. Yeah. And so cruising is a very good vacation choice.
I would agree. And, it is a personal decision on whether or not I choose to cruise now or in the future. And I think as that value interpreter, my role really is to help that customer understand the facts and know everything that there is when I'm going into that decision. If at the end of the day they're still not ready, that's okay too.
Well, allow us to be your partner. Allow us the opportunity to help you grow your business and to be wildly successful. We want to be on this journey with you. We want to help you. And together, we will continue to really make a difference for consumers everywhere.
Yeah, Vicki, I think that's a great way to put a cherry on top of this today. So again, thank you for being here with us. Thank you to all of you out there listening. And we look forward to working with you real soon.
Thank you, everybody.
So what do y'all think? Amazing and inspirational advice from Vicki and Anthony, huh? Yeah, and Anthony's had a really fantastical suit jacket that was pretty spectacular, wasn't it? It was definitely FUN. Loved it. So I am walking away from this and I am thinking vindication. I am a Q and I am not weird and quirky. I'm just a Q. So thank you, Vicki, for that wonderful advice. Go ahead and leave the stream open in the background, because in a few minutes, we'll be back with our friends from ACTA, who will be giving us the 411 on what's happening in Canada. See you soon. All right, all right, all right. You know what it's time for. It is time to get our learning on with what's happening across the border. And being a Minnesotan, I am practically Canadian. So we're both sitting here in our sub-zero temperatures right now, which is super, super nice. And it's snowing. So I'm going to turn things over to the team at the Association of Canadian Travel Agencies. And to fill us up, they're going to fill us in on what types of advocacy work they've been doing, what they're working on, what fronts they're still fighting on, and why being an ACTA member is so important for Canadian advisors. So it's all you, ACTA.
Hello, everyone. We are so pleased to join you today from all the way from Canada. My name is Wendy Parody, and I'm the president of ACTA, the Association of Canadian Travel Agencies and Travel Agents. With me today is ACTA's Director of Advocacy and Industry Relations, Avery Campbell, and Membership Manager, Fiona Bowen. ACTA is the trade association for travel agencies and travel agents in Canada. Our mandate is to advocate on behalf of you to governments, travel suppliers, and other stakeholders with one strong voice. Our second priority is to provide travel agents with education and certification programs to raise the overall professionalism of our industry in Canada. Next, ACTA promotes the value of working with a professional travel agent to the consumer through several media channels. And finally, we connect you with important information, people, and tools to help you increase sales. As an independent travel agent, it is so important to be part of and contribute to your trade association. Avery, as ACTA's Director of Advocacy and Industry Relations, can you please share the important advocacy issues ACTA has been working on behalf of independent travel agents over the pandemic and what you see as the top priorities for 2022?
Absolutely. So it's been a very busy season in advocacy, especially since the start of the pandemic. And since the start of it, our advocacy has shifted to addressing the impacts of government border restrictions and travel advisories, which really impacts every aspect of our business. Our work includes advocating for the easing of pre-departure and arrival COVID-19 testing and the lifting of government travel advisories. Our key work is getting financial aid to ensure travel agents can survive this crisis. ACTA works with Canadian and global coalitions in this critical effort. We also work on matters important specific to our industry, such as advocating with travel suppliers on industry commission payment policies. At the provincial and territorial levels, we lobby for financial support to travel agents in the licensed provinces of Ontario, Quebec, and British Columbia for regulatory changes that support industry survival and foster recovery. Our provincial and territorial work also includes lobbying for a fair and accessible insurance regulatory framework. Like 2021 and 2020, 2022 will be a busy year in our advocacy work. We are working closely with the Ministry of Tourism and Finance on financial support for independent travel agents and continue to address the impacts on the border. We are also looking forward to speaking about recovery and lobbying the federal government and provincial and territorial governments on reopening our sector and fostering an environment in which we can recover.
Thanks, Avery. You mentioned securing financial supports for ITAs has been a significant focus over the past years. Can you please share more on these initiatives?
Absolutely. At the beginning of COVID-19, ACTA assertively lobbied for wage, rent, and loan support along with our coalitions. Originally, independent workers were going to fall through the cracks. Intense advocacy efforts meant that they were eligible for the CERB and CRB. Also, the wage subsidy originally proposed by the government was only 10%. ACTA and its coalitions, including the Canadian Federation of Independent Businesses and the Coalition of Hardest Hit Businesses, pushed for 75% wage and rent subsidies, which we got. Along with peer industries like live music and events, ACTA is pushing for independent workers and financial support with the government. Throughout the pandemic, we were successful in getting up to 75% wage and rent support for travel agencies and some independent travel agents who met strict qualification criteria. Unfortunately, most independent travel agents are excluded from the wage subsidy program. We've met with MPs, ministers, and senior government officials and have undertaken and will continue to undertake significant media efforts to get financial support for independent travel agents urgently. Right now, we are actively in discussions with senior officials at the Ministry of Tourism and Finance on a new proposal for independent travel agent support. We are calling for equality in support. That is, for travel agencies, small businesses, and independent travel agents to be treated equally in the terms of support access. Our proposal, submitted to government, was endorsed by Canada's major host agencies, and we'll have more news on this in the coming weeks. For 2022, our strategy will evolve as it always does with the domestic and global circumstances. We hope to see recovery for the summer season and are poised to act quickly as circumstances dictate.
Thanks, Avery. The next question I'd like to ask is about the travel industry ecosystem. There's many players in the travel industry, including airlines, tour operators, hotels and resorts, cruise lines, and of course, travel agents, just to name a few. How does ACTA support travel agents with industry relations along with the government relations that you've already outlined?
Our industry advocacy has numerous facets. For one, we are advocating for reforms on how suppliers pay commission. We will continue to advocate for commission to be paid at the time of final payment on a booking. The pandemic has only highlighted the urgent need for suppliers to enact this change, and that advocacy will continue in force. We also work on protecting commissions on bookings canceled by travel suppliers, since the role of the travel agent is to promote and sell travel to consumers, and that travel agents receive a share of cancellation fees on consumer cancellations at a minimum. We had a significant win on this issue, that is on commission payments, on behalf of travel agents when the government mandated Canadian airlines to protect recall commission, and we are seeking renewed commitments at this time.
Great, thank you very much for that update, Avery. I'm sure you all agree that advocacy needs to continue to be ACTA's top priority. I'm also joined today by Fiona Bowen, one of ACTA's membership managers. She has been with ACTA for almost 20 years and has a wealth of knowledge about everything ACTA and the Canadian travel industry. Fiona, over the years, you have worked with thousands of ACTA members, travel agency owners, independent travel agents, certified travel counselors, certified travel managers. With your vast amount of experience, what would you say are the top ACTA member benefits that independent travel agents value most?
Thank you, Wendy, for the introduction. And I am happy to share the benefits of belonging to your trade association. I like to call this what's in it for me as an ACTA paying member. To answer your question, Wendy, there are four main reasons why members belong to ACTA: advocacy, member saving programs, professional development, and the ACTA initiatives of promoting the value of booking with a professional travel agent. The first area is advocacy, and Avery has already spoken in detail about this. The second area is our member support programs. ACTA has tangible member benefits that help our members save money. The first one is our ACTA Protect insurance program in partnership with BrokerLink. Independent travel agents are able to save money on errors and emissions insurance, health and dental benefits, and even car insurance. ACTA also offers a member perks program where you can save on travel perks, including airline 8075s, 50% savings for parking at Toronto Airport, as well as the Plaza Premium Lounges across Canada, just to name a few perks. In addition, you can also save money on restaurants, technology, and retail shopping when you sign up with your ACTA membership card. The third reason that members belong to ACTA is for professional development opportunities. And the fourth reason is that we assertively promote the value of working with a professional travel agent to government, travel suppliers, and most important, to consumers.
Great. Thank you very much, Fiona. I'd now like you to spend a little bit more time speaking about ACTA's professional development supports for independent travel agents.
Thank you for that great question, Wendy. ACTA has a robust offering when it comes to professional development. We offer a range of training and certification opportunities, including webinars, conferences, experiential learning, and Canada's National Certified Travel Counselor designation, also known as CTC. The webinars help independent travel agents keep up to date with the latest topics, such as service fees, advocacy efforts, destination training, and so much more. We also have conferences that independent travel agents can attend and learn from subject matter experts. And as an ACTA member, you always save on registration fees. New in 2022 is our in-destination experiential learning programs. We will have more to share on this once the COVID-19 impacts start to ease. Finally, if you are new to the industry, we have the perfect training program for you to learn all about our industry. The program is called Travel Agent Essentials, and it is an online training program to help new entrants learn all you need to know to start your career as a professional travel agent. Now is a great time to get started and invest in your future career as a new travel agent, or to take your knowledge and skills to the next level. I look forward to seeing you on board as an ACTA member.
As Fiona mentioned, now is the perfect time to invest in education, certifications, and professional development. All research shows that there is a tremendous pent-up demand by consumers for travel. Once COVID is better managed, travel agents will be busy. As a member of Host Agency Review, we would like to offer you $50 savings on ACTA's entry-level Travel Agency Essentials training course or the Canadian Certified Travel Counselor Full Certification Program. Please visit acta.ca for more information and include promo code Host Agency Review 2022 Conference. You can also find membership information on our website. The three of us would like to thank you very much. We're so pleased to join you today, and we wish you a healthy and successful 2022.
Well, thank you so much, Wendy, Fiona, and Avery. I am loving your Host Week special for certifications and trainings. Thank you so much. We are so appreciative of you taking the time to make sure that all of our friends are up to date with what ACTA is working on and what they offer. So, you mentioned those in-destination experiential learning programs, and we would love to get those on our calendar. So if you're not familiar with HAR's event calendar, I'm going to show it to you because it's a really great resource. So let me share my screen really quick. All right, so you find it by saying, I'm looking for and then you can press travel event here, or you could go under resources and press events. It takes you to the same spot. But you can see we have our featured events, and then we have tons and tons of events. So whether it's in person, if it's virtual, or in person, if it's invite only, there's a way to signal that, or if it's open to everyone. I would highly encourage, if you're putting on an event, to add it here. All events are listed for free. So all you have to do is set up an account and press post an event, and you can get in front of a lot of different advisors. So, and if you're an advisor and looking for some educational opportunities, make sure to bookmark the events page. All right. So for all the Canadian advisors that are out there, we'd love to hear from you. I don't know if there's any content that's specific to Canadian agencies that you would like to see, because we're going to be jumping into our Get to Know a Host segment soon, and we'll be hearing from 3 host agencies that work with Canadian advisors. And those are Travel Edge, Independent by Flight Center, and then Incentive Connection Travel. And today we're also going to be hearing from 2 US-based hosts that work with US agents. So that's Travel Planners International and Plaza Travel. And I should also mention that Travel Edge and Incentive Connection Travel also work with US-based advisors. So stay tuned. We are going to be back before you know it. Hello, friends. I think we're friends by now, don't you? It's Thursday. So my webcam and I have become best friends. I love you, webcam, because we've been staring at each other for a week now. So if you're just jumping on, welcome to Host Week, the week where we celebrate hosted agents in the industry that supports them. I am Stephanie, the founder of Host Agency Reviews, and also emceeing this event. So right now, we're breaking out into our Get to Know a Host section. So what can you expect with that? This is the place where you'll be able to hear from a variety of different host agency representatives, all about their company cultures and programs. So this week we've had, I think there's 25 hosts. So it's a fantastic opportunity to hear from multiple hosts and kind of compare them. And if you've missed any hosts that we've interviewed in the past, do not worry. Everything is recorded and can be found in our playlist on Host Agency Reviews YouTube channel. So we'd love for you to drop any questions or notes in the comments. Don't be shy, introduce yourself. So what I would like to know from everybody, because honestly, these segments are a lot more fun if people in the comments are chatting. So I would like to know from everyone what your dream vacation would be. So go ahead and type that in the comments. I'll share with you that mine is Antarctica. I really love cold weather destinations. But, I could actually also stand to go back up to Churchill, Manitoba and see the polar bears again, because I just love them. And it was so fun to see them. I could do that trip 1,000 times. So while we're talking about bucket list destinations in the comments, don't be afraid to ask any questions about the host being interviewed. They'll have some reps in the comments that can answer any of your questions. So the format is, here's the ground rules. We ask every host agency the exact same questions. Some are stereotypical questions, and then there's also kind of a fun question in there and less traditional questions. So today we'll be hearing from Plaza Travel, Travel Edge, Independent by Flight Center, Incentive Connection Travel, and Travel Planners International. So we have April Perez is going to be representing Plaza Travel, which is based out of sunny Southern California. And there's going to be a bona fide party with Michelle and Perry with the Toronto-based Travel Edge. And then from there, we have Heather Baker, the National Senior Membership Sales Manager at Independent by Flight Center. And they are the host agency division of Flight Center. And they specifically work with Canadian agents. But if you are a US-based advisor, make sure to check out their host agency, their sister company for US advisors, called Independent by Liberty Travel. We'll put a link in the comments. They were interviewed yesterday. And then we're going to pass the baton over to Robert Simon, the president at the family-run host agency, Incentive Connection Travel. And then last but not least, we have Jen Lee, the VP of Industry Engagement and Support over at Florida-based Travel Planners International. So, April, let's give the people what they want. Let's interview those hosts.
Hey, everybody. April from Host Agency Reviews here again. I'm with another April. I'm so excited. This is April Perez. She's with Plaza Travel. Hi, April. How are you?
Hello. Hi, I'm well. How are you?
Good. I'm so excited for you to be here and we get to chat about Plaza Travel and everything that's going on.
Alrighty. Sounds good.
Good. So let's jump right into it. So why don't you tell us what's been happening with Plaza Travel this past year?
Over time, we've just become and continue to be more connected with each other. We have our biweekly staff meetings on Zoom where we get to see everyone on camera, and we have advisors from all over the country who join, and everyone gets to interact and see each other face to face. And that's something we didn't have before.
Oh, nice. I like it. I like that camaraderie and people coming together, and yeah, just really, that's great to hear. So kind of going right into the next question, what makes Plaza Travel unique?
We really have a family feel and a good sense of connectivity. Everyone on our team is always willing to help each other. And I think that's what makes advisors who join us feel so comfortable coming in. And along with that, we have all of the benefits and connections and commissions of a large worldwide agency. And we get that with our Frosh partnership. So we really do get the best of both worlds.
Oh, that's so good to hear. That's great. Certainly makes you unique. So if we're talking about travel advisors, because it's host week and it's all about the travel advisor, I'd love to hear 3 words you would use to describe your ideal travel advisor for Plaza Travel.
Our ideal travel advisor is passionate, engaged, and inspired.
I like that. I like the inspired. Can you talk more about the inspired part? I'm obviously engaged in learning, I'm assuming. So I'd love to hear more on that.
Yeah, Steve, our president, always offers, inspiration in our meetings. And it's just great to hear how other advisors in our network are really moving forward and pushing and coming up with new and creative ideas on how to connect with clients and pushing the envelope in different ways.
I love that. And you know what I really like? I like the pushing the envelope part because it's not just, okay, let's sit back and relax and everything's going to happen. It sounds like your advisors are real go-getters and going out and really trying new things. And like you said, pushing that envelope. I love to hear that.
Exactly.
So happy 2022. I want to hear more about Plaza Travel and diving into 2022.
Yeah, we're learning a lot from the silver linings of the pandemic, and we're doing our best to adapt to changes quickly and being creative when it comes to, like I said, connecting with clients. We have our regular meetings with our staff and our ICs, and Steve does an amazing job at sharing industry updates. And, everyone comes to the meeting with something to share. And so it's great to hear everyone's successes. And even some of their challenges too that they deal with on a day-to-day basis, and it really keeps us growing and learning from each other and as a group as a whole. And overall, we're increasing client connectivity and support, and we're doing the same thing internally.
That's great to hear that everybody's learning from each other. I think that's just such a huge point for a successful host agency, that you have that connectivity and the constant growing. So we have a variety of advisors watching, but if you could give one tip to a new advisor, what would that be?
It would be to take advantage of any opportunities available to you and stay engaged, because you never know what can happen out of these opportunities. And we definitely don't want anyone to miss out.
Yeah. I like the staying engaged part. I mean, it's so important because you're right. You never know what could happen. If you're out there talking to people, you could get a client, you can meet them at a coffee shop. So staying engaged with people is super important for a travel advisor. So I think that's some great advice. So we like to do a fun question. So I'd love to know, if Plaza Travel had a themed party, what would that theme be and why?
It would definitely be family reunion. And we have this great bond and working relationship with everyone on the staff. Carol, Steve's mom, always opens up our meetings with what we call a pregame show. And she checks in with everyone. And it does really feel like a reunion every week, even though it's just been a week. And everyone loves seeing each other. We laugh, we chat, we catch up. And whenever we add a new advisor, they're always really impressed by our company and our culture and kind of how we take things kind of easy, and we really just enjoy being around each other.
It's funny, when you said family reunion, automatically I thought like barbecue for some reason. So I just pictured like you and Steve and like the whole Plaza team like at this great barbecue. And you're like, oh, we're really easygoing. And I'm like, oh my God, that just seems like a great barbecue scene. Like in my head, I always picture what people are saying. And that is completely how I see your party.
Yes, exactly. And Carol is a foodie too. So that kind of what you said is perfect. Like perfect.
That's perfect. She can bring like, I see maybe like some like exotic something like on the grill, some like fun cocktails. Yeah, I want to be invited to this party. So I understand you don't have a host week special, but you actually offer something all year round. So do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so we actually don't have any startup fees. What we offer is a culture that cultivates success, connectivity, support, friendship, and fulfillment, and that comes with Plaza Travel all year round.
I love that. I actually think that's priceless. So I know you did add it to our link. So we're going to put the link in the comments for people to head on over and learn more about that. And April, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate learning more about Plaza Travel and all the great things happening. And we're going to be continuing on with Host Week. Thank you so much, April, for being here.
Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you so much, April. Or, well, I should say thank you both, Aprils. So I really want to come to that Plaza Travel family reunion. Steve has a very embarrassing screenshot of me somewhere early on in the pandemic when I was on a Zoom call with him and quite a few other people, unfortunately. And I somehow managed to turn my screen upside down, and I'm like blushing really bad because I can't figure out how to unstick it. So I was like that attorney early on in the pandemic, the older gentleman that was had his head stuck on a cat filter, and he had to tell the judge that he was there and he's not actually a cat. So that was like me during this professional meeting. And if you haven't seen that cat video, I'm going to put the link in the comments because it's really, really hysterical and adorable in equal measures. So next in line, April has Travel Edge waiting in the studio. So let's check out what they have to say.
Hey everyone, April from HAR here. I'm sitting down with a couple of the ladies from Travel Edge Network. I'm going to have them introduce themselves. Ladies.
Hi, April. This is Michelle from Travel Edge, and I am in charge of the advisor world, so VP of Advisor Services.
Wonderful.
And hi, April. I'm Perry Peters, Business Development Manager for Travel Edge Network.
Thank you, ladies, so much for being here for Host Week. We're so excited to learn more about Travel Edge Network, and let's jump right into some questions.
Great.
Perfect. So my first question is, we'd love to hear what Travel Edge Network has been up to the last year.
Okay, I'll take that question. We have been up to so much, April. Busy the entire time. We have spent the pandemic preparing for the rebound of travel. And when I say that, we have done that in a pronged approach. So several different ways. Financially, physically, we have invested in key areas of technology. We have grown our preferred partnership by, I would say, about 50%, 60% that we've added partners into our network. We've spent time working on professional development, and most importantly to me, community and support of our advisors. Within that, we saw an opportunity during COVID to find talent, with so many people moving positions and the lull in the industry. Our owner was able to give us the opportunity to go out and source talent during the downturn. So for my team in particular, we added 3 new key members, and we were able to staff up. About a year ago is when we started bringing additional people on, so that we would be ready to support our community of advisors a little bit earlier in the curve as we started in this rebound, which then turned into another wave.
Yeah.
A couple of other highlights that I would also like to mention is putting money. We have a tool which is called ADX, and that tool helps streamline advisors' businesses, and concentrating our efforts with our dev team during the downturn was one of the other opportunities that we took.
You sound like you've been super busy. And I love to hear that you're adding to your team. I mean, that's so great. And you really took that time, this downtime, to gear up, because just like you said, I think travel is going to really come back, and it sounds like you're super prepared, and that's so exciting to hear.
It is. When I look around at some of the other businesses just within the industry in general, you can see the struggle right now with the staffing. So yeah, we are very, very fortunate to have been in a position to be able to do that. Another one of the ways that we connected with the community is, we were in contact as these waves came across. several times per week. Where normally on a, in a general month, we would be in touch with them. We have regional calls that happen every week. Then we have a network call that happens twice per month. But during pandemic, it brought everyone closer together, just going through these different waves and, unexpected turns in the industry.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, you've definitely adapted. So let's just roll right into the next question, because I'd love to hear what makes Travel Edge Network unique.
Well, I mentioned a little bit regarding our ADX tool. So that tool is a proprietary tool that we have built. We have taken the last 9 years to build this tool. And it has functionality to book air, to book insurance. We're able to book hotels through there. So we're able to pull in all of our own preferreds so that advisors just have it at their fingertips. You don't necessarily need to know a GDS anymore. So with us, you don't have to know Sabre or Amadeus or Apollo because we have all of the airfare stored right in ADX. We then also have a support team on the back end that helps. So we have an air fulfillment team that helps if there's any exchanges or refunds, or right now we're in the middle of so many schedule changes. That team helps support advisors. So it's a great tool to help build your business and up your revenue stream with a little bit of effort and not having to learn a whole new language. And right now we're rolling out something I think that's going to change the way that our advisors see their future. The value of the advisor really came through with COVID. Service fees are very important. And we're now going to allow a bundle where our advisors can add their set margin and embed their fees. So it's a really easy tool. You can have it on your iPad, you can have it on your computer. Some people even use it on their phone. And I think that is one of the key differentials for us right now. Another one would be we have our own in-house marketing team, tech team, finance team, and then a team of directors and managers. So we have a kind of a hub and spoke model where we still have office locations throughout North America. So we have a manager in each of those locations. And in addition to that, we have directors that are specific to a line of business. So specific to hotel, air, insurance, and cruise. And I think that's another key differential.
I love that. And you know what I love is, first off, everything that you have to offer. And I love that it's all in-house, and it just makes it so much easier, especially like where you have your air and everything just in one system. I think that's great to hear. And I think that's super attractive to advisors.
Yeah, when the days are so chaotic, when you're an advisor, especially right now, as things are changing, you need to be up on COVID protocols. They change minute by minute, quite literally, and having something easy to work with just makes so much sense. Being able to streamline and I think our in-house marketing team is another key differential. With that, they are now helping us produce event, which we call Limitless. And it is really the global leaders in luxury travel. And they're able to connect our preferred partners directly with our advisors and provide some inspiration during this time as we go through these waves as well. Some of the other fun things are professional development, peer-to-peer engagement, social, and help with marketing. We've created our own newsletter called The Edge, which goes out to our advisors on a weekly basis with relevant content. So we have been really busy. We did not stop, and we will continue going, trying to make a difference for our teams.
That's great. That's so great to hear. So let's talk about your team. I'd love to hear 3 words that best describes your ideal travel advisor.
My ideal travel advisor would be someone who is adventurous, right? Not afraid to take risks with themselves and their business. Someone who is client-centric and really puts the client and their needs, gets to know them, knows what experiences they're after so that they can really be in touch. And then the third for me is someone who is also focused on creating a business. So, there are different levels of interest, within the industry, but we really work best with those that, this is their passion. This is what they want to be doing. They want to be out in the world, exploring, making a difference, and passion propels them. So those would be the 3 key factors for me.
I love that. And I love how you pointed out client-centered, because it really is about the clients and making sure they have such a great experience. So I love that you added that in there.
Yeah.
So happy 2022. I would love to hear what you have going on for 2022.
Well, 2022, we a couple of months ago, we thought, we're coming out of the gate. Things are really, all cylinders moving. We could really see the momentum. And of course, we are now learning to adapt to these waves, how to be in front of the curve. So with that, again, we are focusing on our powerful technology. We are creating this bundle, which right now we have termed Merchant of Record, which is allowing our advisors to book a cruise and a hotel and air, put that together in a package, do their markup, and then present that to their client. We have refreshed all of our branding. I'm sure you've seen our new website, and we are working on a campaign just to get a little bit more awareness about the value of the advisor, because after this year, you can really see the difference an advisor is making in a consumer world. So that is what we're focusing on 2022. But the list is long. For me personally, it's getting back out into the field, seeing people in person. I'm going to be doing an off-the-road tour in a couple of months. We try and have regular engagement, and we're able to do that in multi-levels. So because we have the managers in region, they have communities within those regions, as well as then like an industry-wide or a network-wide community meeting. So we are all trying to be together at one point during 2022. And then another of my favorite, I just got back from Lisbon in Portugal on an educational trip. I took 9 of our advisors, and right now we are working on the trips that we will be presenting for 2022. So they are small groups, luxury, curated, educationals. We feel it is very important that our advisors know the products that they're selling, know our partners, and are out there. And with educationals, I think just as important is also luxury events. So, there's nothing better than meeting your partners face to face and meeting peers that, you've seen over Zoom, or you've seen in meetings, or, your live chats, those sort of things, and then actually being able to get together at, Duco or ILTM, Pure, those sort of things. So that's 2022 for us.
You have a lot going on. That is so exciting. It sounds like a great year that's coming up. So let's talk about the new travel advisor. I'd love to hear one tip that you would give a new travel advisor.
I'll take that one.
Okay, great.
since that's my role, bringing in new travel advisors, I would highly recommend that they take our educational and training courses, because we have specifically designed these for advisors who are new to the business. And one of those courses I definitely recommend is our social media training, because in this day and age, that's what they're going to need to create their customer base and grow their business.
No, absolutely. I think that's great, especially the social media. It's not the same as posting on your own when you're doing it for a business. And a lot of people can't make that transition. So to have a specific training for something like that is so important and beneficial to advisors. That's wonderful. So we at Heart always like to have a fun question. So I'm going to throw a little something different at you. And I would love to hear, if Travel Edge Network had a themed party, what would that theme be and why?
I love this question. Travel Edge would be, if it had a theme, it would be a champagne cocktail garden party. And it would start out under a blue sky, but quickly turn into a party under the stars. And it would likely be held at one of our preferred partners' locations, maybe a villa or a castle. And there would definitely be a red carpet to welcome all, because we truly believe at Travel Edge that travel makes the world a much better place to live in.
No, it's funny. I actually first you started with champagne. I immediately saw like bottles popping. Then you said the garden. I was like, ooh. And then I just saw like almost like a maze with just roses everywhere. And then I saw the red carpet roll out. Like I was just imagining everything as you said it. I love that. That sounds so much fun. So it is Host Week, and we love to offer Host Week specials. So I would love to hear what Travel Edge Network is doing.
Well, we have continued to invest and grow our market, our network, despite the pandemic, and we're still able to do this with no advisor fees.
Wow.
In addition, we provide them with some powerful technology that maximizes their efficiency. And this includes an invoicing system, a CRM, and of course, ADX, our booking platform, is invaluable. We do provide them with world-class marketing, as well as regularly scheduled events for networking and to meet suppliers. And lastly, we have a dedicated operations and support team, which includes an assigned account manager for each IC.
Wow, that's a lot. So what we'll do is we will put in the comments the link to the Host Week specials. And I highly recommend that everybody goes and checks out Travel Edge Networks. And ladies, thank you so much for being here for Host Week. It has been such a pleasure chatting with you and learning more about Travel Edge Network. And we're just going to continue on with Host Week. Thank you, ladies. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much, April.
Bye.
Okay, wow. All I'm going to say is that was the most luxurious sounding theme party ever. I am totally with April that I was envisioning everything as you painted the picture, Perry. So thank you for that. And you can count this lady in if you're looking for someone to crash your theme party. So keep that in mind. With that, let's go ahead and see. April is waiting in the wings with Independent by Flight Center, and let's see what they have to say.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Host Week. I'm sitting here with Heather Baker from Independent by Flight Center. Hello, Heather. How are you?
Hey, April. I'm great. How are you doing?
Great. Thank you so much for being here for Host Week and chatting about Independent by Flight Center with us.
Well, thanks for having us back. We loved being here last year. We're really excited that we can be here again this year.
No, excited to have you. I have lots of questions and fun questions and Host Week specials to talk about. So let's just get right into it, huh?
Sounds good.
Awesome. So first question, let's hear about what Independent by Flight Center has been up to this previous year.
Yeah, I guess that's a great
loaded question.
A loaded question and a great place to start. Well, despite the impact of the pandemic, Independent by Flight Center has really been making a lot of investments in our independent space in anticipation of the return of travel. We've expanded our agent care team so we can provide more support to our independent contractors. We have a new director of education that is looking at bringing on some more educational opportunities that aren't only going to be focused sort of on product and travel, but also really geared towards our small business entrepreneurs, helping them become more savvy about their business and ensuring that they understand all the different aspects of their business so they can become as successful as possible. Because one of the keys is that you can, sell travel, but we want to make sure that they've got a thorough understanding of all the different aspects of their business, so that they can grow it. And again, like I said, be as successful as possible with the resumption of travel. We also have an agency program, director of agency programs that we have brought on, and they're going to be sort of focusing on customizing unique opportunities for those independent contractors that are looking at growing their business in the coming year through opportunities like bringing on subcontractors as part of their team, looking to offer more options for group travel, especially since we see a lot of people sort of wanting to do bubble travel with, large extended family members or groups of friends, as well as those that are looking at making moves into the small corporate opportunities with the small sort of independent businesses that they could look after. As well, we know that there's lots of changes going on in the travel landscape right now. In the course of a week, but then I sort of was going to stop myself there and say in the course of 24 hours, things can change like that. So we've actually invested in a great new tool that allows our agents to be able to check any changes to the entry requirements, depending on where their client is traveling, so that they can, sell to their client with confidence and know that, they've got the most up-to-date, accurate information.
I love that you're investing a lot into your travel advisors and their businesses, and really kind of taking a deep dive with education and everything. That sounds amazing. And I mean, just such a great investment.
It is, if we're going to find the silver lining, it's that, the past years really allowed us the opportunity to sort of put that investment in and accelerate a lot of plans that we already had in motion and sort of fast track them, to get those product services and trainings to our agents even sooner than we anticipated.
Yeah. And I like the fact that you touched upon like that bubble travel, because I hate using the word pivot, but we took the pivot to, really just stay with what's happening and staying up to date with everything. So I love the fact that you actually added that in there as well.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are sort of jumping on it as well, too, because people miss travel and they want to travel again. And, those that may feel a bit hesitant are like, well, wait, I can book out a whole trip with like me and my extended family, like it's just us on that. Tell me more about it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what people want. So that's amazing. So let's hear a little bit more about Independent by Flight Center, and I'd love to hear what makes you unique.
Hands down, the first thing that pops into my mind is our people. And I know a lot of people probably say, well, you're biased, Heather, but I just see it as a cold, hard fact. Like, I really think we have the best independent agents in the industry. We know it hasn't been an easy go the past few years, and the support and encouragement that our independent contractors have provided each other, and the camaraderie and just encouragement that they've, done over the past couple of years. They've been each other's biggest cheerleaders, coast to coast. Whether one of them was having a down day, whether one of them needed to double check entry requirements, whether one of them was second guessing, they really rally around each other. And, it's something really special, I think. And it's something that we're really lucky to have in our organization. In addition to the people, obviously, Independent by Flight Center is part of the Flight Center Travel Group, which is a global company with presences in, over 23 countries around the globe. So that global buying power ensures that the independent contractors that are part of our team get access to top tier commissions, exclusive promos, and as well, they get direct access to a multitude of travel products because we have our own in-house air and land contracting departments. So as a company, we actually hold those, wholesale contracts with hotels directly and airlines directly. So it can all be booked in-house without the need to actually have to go outside to a third-party supplier.
That's nice. I mean, people don't understand how convenient that is too. So that's really nice to have and definitely makes you unique. So let's talk about the travel advisor. I'd love to hear 3 words that best describes the ideal travel advisor for Independent by Flight Center.
This was a good question. I love, because I was like, oh my God, how do I come down to just 3? Because I mean, so many different businesses, so many different personalities that we have. If I had to narrow it down to just 3, I'd probably say passionate. They're passionate about their business. They're passionate about the industry. They're passionate about the clients and the customer service that they provide them. And they're passionate about travel themselves. Second word, it's in our name, independent. They want to be sort of in the driver's seat when it comes to their business, being able to choose what type of travel they sell, what type of clients they bring on, where they work from. Are they, going to be in, a snowbound, Ontario like I am right now? Or are they going to hop on a plane and go work out of London for a few weeks, or say, go down to the beach and, take their laptop and, sort of spend a couple weeks down south away from the snow. And so, they really are able to work autonomously, and they have a really good idea of what they want for their business. And they just use us, our systems, our support, and our programs to be able to facilitate, the dream and the goals that they have for their business. And the last, I think it could be said of any travel agent, whether they work for a host agency or a company, a traveler. We want people that love to travel, that get excited about travel, that want to share their experiences, ups and downs, their tips, their tricks, that can look back on, sort of speed bumps and laugh and, share like lessons that they've learned with their clients or with other agents. And that's, I think, in a nutshell, passionate, independent travelers. Give us a call.
It's funny because when you said it's in our name, I was like, all right, Independent Flight Center. Okay, independent. Like I was trying to answer the question before you actually said it. So yay, may I got it right. And then I love the fact that you actually said travelers. I mean, people always say, oh, we want somebody that loves travel. Okay, but do they travel? And I love it. And when you went into, they share their experience, ups and downs. I mean, this is all great stuff. So I love that. And what a great answer for
we'd love that every trip would go off without a hitch. It'd be perfect, and sort of Instagrammable heaven, sort of thing. But we know that's not the case. And the thing is that how do we handle it when it happens? How do our agents, assist their clients when it happens? And then how do they, learn lessons from it that they can take and sort of implement or share, to make the next person's experience or their next experience even smoother?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, we just kicked off 2022. So let's hear what's going to be new for Independent by Flight Center in 2022.
Yeah, we've got a lot of things coming down the pipeline that we're really excited about. We've just signed a contract and we're preparing to launch a new marketing platform. And it's going to allow our independent contractors the ability to opt into some automated marketing to their clients. It'll give them the ability to sort of customize exactly what it is they're promoting, ensuring that their promotions meet the needs and desires of their clients and their business. Because essentially, we have over 400 small businesses that are here. And what works for one, agent may not work for another. And so being able to sort of really create that bespoke, customized marketing collateral that they can share with their clients to make sure that, it's in line with their business. We're also expanding our education program. As I said, we brought on a new director of education. So we're going to be offering a number of different programs to both our experienced agents as well as our new to industry, because obviously they have, different needs, sort of there's great refresher courses for some of our experience, but a lot of them are looking for, sort of next level courses, not only again in regards to product, but just in regards to their business and becoming better business owners per se. A lot of them obviously being travelers themselves. And, if they've been in the industry for a bit, have the travel part down, pat, the booking and, suppliers, what they want to know now is, how to become better business owners. And as well, too, one of the things that we are really exciting that is looking at coming the latter part of the year is going to be a lead generation program for our independent contractors. And we're also getting prepared to launch a recognition program for independent contractors. As I've said before, speaking to you today, we know the past couple of years have not been easy, and we've seen firsthand, the blood, sweat, and tears that our independent agents have put into their business and to helping their clients and, taking care of them through some crazy times. And we're really proud and we're really lucky that they've chosen Independent by Flight Centre as their partner, for their travel business. And we want to ensure that we've got a really great program that recognizes all of their successes and accomplishments. It may be a smaller one for one agent than another, but it doesn't make the recognition any less. And that that small win for that one agent might be huge for them. And just making sure that they feel recognized for, again, all of the extraordinary efforts that they put into their business, and especially that's happened over the past few years.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And along with that recognition is it gives people a chance to see things that are working for other advisors, and maybe even makes them connect with other people that way. If they say, wow, you did that, how did you do it? Can you help me? Stuff like that. So I love hearing, I think recognition is so important. And sometimes I feel like businesses don't do it enough. So that's great to hear.
It is. And sometimes, the agents themselves sort of get bogged down in the weeds because they're dealing so much with the day-to-day, and they may, not even recognize, the successes that they've had in their business until someone comes along and sort of taps them on the shoulder and was like, good on you. That's amazing. And they're like, oh my God, it is, because I've been so busy, I haven't even had a chance to look, or, I've been dealing with putting this fire and this and that. And, we just want to make sure that, they know that they're doing awesome.
Yeah, no, kudos. I love that idea. So we have a variety of agents watching right now, I'm sure. New and experienced. Shout out to everyone. If you want to make some comments, let me know if you're new or experienced. But I'd love to hear if you have like one tip of advice that you would give a new advisor.
Ask questions, as many of them as you think you need to. There's a lot to learn in travel, and there's no such thing as a dumb question, in my opinion. Each experienced agent started where you are today. It may seem like they're gurus and they know everything, but we all started off at that starting point. And if you're coming as a new to industry agent now, there's even more to learn than when many of us started, obviously, with, different entry requirements, testing requirements, et cetera. Changing protocols, policies. Use the supports of your colleagues and your host agency. Like, we're all here to help you. We want you to succeed. So ask, because as well, 99% of the time, if the question popped into your head, it's probably in 4 other people's head that are like, should I ask that question? I don't know. Is it? But again, ask questions, no dumb questions. The more the questions you ask, the better, because again, that's how you're going to grow your business, grow your knowledge, and I always say it's better to ask a question and get the answer than be afraid to ask it. And then if there's a problem or something happens, to try and have to fix it afterwards.
Absolutely. Be proactive there. I love that. So we have our fun question, because Har loves to do fun questions. So my question for you is, if Independent by Flight Centre had a themed party, what would that theme be and why?
So many options. And I love that you guys always throw like one of these really sort of fun ones in that really make you think sort of outside of the box. So yeah, I probably had like 10 on the list, and I was like, oh my God, like that and that. But I'd have to say, if I had to narrow it down to just one, at the moment, probably an amazing race theme party. Like, we love to explore, we're ready at the drop of a hat to hop on a plane somewhere. At this point, I think most of us would hop on a plane anywhere at the drop of a hat. And just like with the amazing races we've seen, occasionally, like, there's roadblocks or speed bumps that are thrown up that we have to deal with. But, we find detours. Sometimes we get fast forwards through them. And again, it comes down to teamwork. The great teamwork usually results in great success. And just like everyone that gets to compete in the amazing race, we all enjoy the journey just as much as the destination. So I have no doubt that, if we were to throw sort of a party like that, that our independent contractors would come with some very creative ideas, and that we could have a lot of fun at that party.
It actually sounds, every time I ask this question and somebody gives an answer, I always like imagine it in my head. And I completely just imagine myself with like a safari hat, like ready to go with like a backpack. And I'm just like, this sounds so much fun. If you have
and I
this,
mean,
need
that's
to
how
go
we're
with
all
you.
feeling right now, right? We're just waiting for them to say, go. And we're like,
yeah,
out the door,
just
ready
running.
to go. Like whatever we can throw on our backpack and on our back, and we're gone.
I love it. Oh, that's so funny. I love that answer. And it's very unique. I actually haven't heard that one yet. So I love that answer. So sorry, just a little digress. So it's Host Week and we offer Host Week specials. I'd love to hear what you're doing for your Host Week special this year.
Yeah, absolutely. With Independent by Flight Center, again, obviously we're based in Canada. If you sign on with us by the 31st of March, 2022, we're going to waive your monthly fees for the first 6 months. So if you're emailing or giving us a call, just use the promo code HAR2022, and we'll be able to note your file and again, start off your career in travel with a little extra money in your pocket while you're building up your travel portfolio.
Oh, that's so great. And I love that. What we're going to do is we'll actually put in the comments the link to it. So everybody go check it out. Oh, thank you so much for being here. So fun talking to you, Heather. I appreciate you taking the time for Host Week.
Oh, well, again, we always appreciate you having us back. It's always so fun to connect with you, April. And, again, like I said, I love these questions and we look forward to it every year.
Great. Well, if you ever have a team training and you need a fun question, well, I can't take credit. Mary gets the questions, but we're ready for you.
Well, I may reach out because, that might come in handy.
No, absolutely. You never know. You never know. But thank you again. I appreciate it. And onward with Host Week. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Love the special, Heather. Thank you so much. We are so excited to have you back again this year, too. Always such a treat. Just a reminder for everyone that Flight Center focuses on the Canadian based advisor. If you are US based, check out their sister company's interview from yesterday. We'll put the link in the comments, and that's Independent by Liberty Travel. So it looks like April is ready with our next host, Incentive Connection Travel. So let's see what Robert has to say.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Host Week. April from HAR here. I'm sitting down with Robert Simon from Incentive Connection Travel. Hey Robert, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm so excited to have you here and talk all things Incentive Connection Travel.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate being here.
No, our pleasure. So let's jump right into it. I have some questions. I have a fun question, and we'll talk about your Host Week special.
Okay.
So let's hear about what's new this past year with Incentive Connection Travel.
Well, basically, not much has changed, except we have seen an increase in business, and it's actually been a respectable increase in business. Our agents are doing well enough that we've raised our level with Ensemble Travel, which is the consortium we belong to, from number 10 to number 6. And we've also just finished printing our 1099 forms, and a lot of our agents have earned quite a bit of income over the past year, which was surprising to us. It's been great.
That's so great to hear. I love hearing how people are getting back into it and travel is happening and just the excitement of it all. So that's so great to hear. This past year has been going well.
Yeah.
So I'd also like to hear about what makes Incentive Connection Travel unique.
Okay, so what makes us unique is, one, we are 30 years old this year. So this is very exciting to us. I mean, not many businesses make it 30 years, especially over the last couple of years. The second thing is that what makes us unique is that we have been family owned and operated for the entire time. As a matter of fact, the office that we're in right now is only a quarter of a mile from where our original office was 30 years ago. So wow. It's just kind of nice that we stayed in the same area, and that we've stayed, small and local, yet with a lot of buying power. The other thing that makes us unique is that when you call the office or when you contact us by email, you're talking to an owner. Only the owners answer the emails. Only the owners respond to the phone calls. We respond to the phone calls Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We answer our emails 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Arizona time, 7 days a week, including holidays.
Wow.
And sometimes that's kind of hard to find in companies, especially when customer service with a lot of places, not necessarily travel industry companies, but a lot of other services, just decide not to respond on the weekends when we need them the most.
Yeah, but that's amazing, especially the owner is answering. I mean, you don't see that ever. So I love that you're really kind of grassroots and there for your advisors. That's so great to hear.
Thank you.
So let's talk about travel advisors. I'd love to hear 3 words that would best describe your ideal travel advisor.
Okay, so the ideal travel advisor to us is one, inquisitive. What new and different suppliers are out there that they might be able to use for their clients? We do a program once a week with our agents where we invite a supplier to come onto a Zoom call. They talk to us for about 20 minutes, and then we spend the rest of the time talking business. The suppliers aren't necessarily all the tried and true. Lately, we've been having a lot of new suppliers coming online with us to discuss their products and to discuss how we can work better with them. So that's one way to do it. The other way is, of course, taking all the webinars that are available to them for the travel insurance companies and the cruise lines and the tour operators and everything else under the sun. The inquisitive agent also tries to figure out how to run their business better. How can we do this more efficiently? How can I make more money? How can I be the agent that my clients expect me to be? So that's basically what we kind of look for in the travel agent. The next part is the self-motivation. How do I get clients? How do I what other programs can I use that would make my business better or more efficient? We offer plenty of solutions for those kinds of questions. Ensemble Travel offers us plenty of marketing materials and marketing programs for our agents to use. They have a free lead generator that the agents can tap into. We have plenty of services available to you, digital marketing that from other sources that we can use. You name it, we can provide it for you.
I love that. I love how you just touched upon digital marketing and lead generation. We get a lot of questions at HAR about that. So hearing that you provide that's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it takes to make our agents successful makes us successful. Without our agents, we're nothing. And basically, our agents are our assets. So we have to keep them happy, and in turn, they keep us happy.
Yeah, no, great way to think of it.
And the final description for an agent that we would like to see is somebody who could be flexible. In the past 2 years, everybody had to be flexible to some degree. Flexibility doesn't necessarily mean touching your toes to your head. It means, I hate this term, but I'll use it anyways, bobbing and weaving with the problems that arise. Since we've been in this for 30 years, we have seen plenty of problems with the industry. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, obviously nothing like the last 2 years, but the flexibility allowed us to keep our agents engaged and to keep us in business so that we can see another day.
I like the flexibility too. I like how you said that. And it's funny when you said, I hate this word, and you said bobbing and weaving, I thought you were going to use pivoting, because pivoting is now my new worst word ever after 2020.
Well, I had a choice between the two. I'm like, but maybe it might be better.
So I'm actually happy you use bobbing and weaving. I'm like, no, not pivoting. So great. I'm so excited to hear all that, but let's talk about what you have coming up in 2022.
Okay, so as far as 2022 goes, we have our weekly meetings with our suppliers like we always do, and we have our monthly meetings for our new agents. Now that what we've started doing with the new agents is inviting them to a monthly meeting, let's call it a judgment-free zone, so that they can ask us whatever questions they like in order to become successful and to hold out until the industry recovers. And we are seeing a nice recovery now. It became successful. successful enough, I should say, that some of our existing agents have asked us if they can come online to participate.
That's great.
And my only requirement is that they need to keep their. So what they would like to do is they would like to give their input into the responses for the questions the new agents have, because they want to be helpful as well. My only requirement is that they keep it basic enough that a new agent will understand what they're talking about and what I'm talking about. It has become so successful. We always have probably 50% new agents, 50% existing agents come online. Some of them just sit and listen, which is fine. Some of them like to give their input because they want to be helpful. And I think this is part of what creates our family atmosphere at Incentive Connection Travel. And for years, I mean, since the beginning of time, we've been calling ourselves the ICT family.
Yeah. I like, I think that's a great way to keep everybody engaged and involved and really get to know each other. So that's super creative to be able to have new advisors, not just asking owners, which by the way, is still amazing, but also getting to like connect with experienced advisors and kind of their experience of what it's been like in the travel industry. So that's great. I love hearing that.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's worked out very well. And I continue to run this. I'm going to continue to run this program, even past the time that the pandemic is over.
Yeah, no, that's great. So speaking of new advisors, I'd love to hear a tip that you would give a new advisor.
Ask questions. There is no question that's too basic. So the problem that new advisors have is similar to me doing this interview. I don't want to look bad by not being able to express myself the way I would like to express myself. They also don't want to look bad because they don't want to, by expressing themselves not in the best light. They come to me always with, I have a stupid question, or my question is just too basic. I'm just going to sit on it, or I should know this, but I don't. That's not the case. There is no question that's too basic. There is no stupid question. It is a question. And if you have the question, somebody else has the question. So just get the question resolved as soon as possible so that you can move on, because an unresolved question just leads to more questions and then exasperation. And nobody wants that.
Yeah, no, gosh. And you're so right. I mean, it does. It ends up snowballing and you never know what other problems can lead just because you didn't ask that one question. And great point. Yeah, and great point. Somebody else probably has the same question. So it's first off, great advice for a new advisor and just great advice in life.
Definitely.
So we always like to ask a fun question. So my question to you is going to be, if your host agency had a themed party, what would that theme be and why?
Well, April, I'm glad you asked that, because since this is our 30th anniversary, we are going to have a 30th anniversary party for our agents. Hint, hint, it's probably going to be on the sea. I'm right now I will probably finalize the details this week, but I would like to do a cruise with the agents to celebrate our 30th anniversary with us. We'll have a dinner together. We'll have a party together. We'll just enjoy time together. The nice thing about being in business this long is that I have agents with my agency as old as my that have been with my agency as long as my agency has been in business, and they are there in every event that I sponsor, and we just enjoy time together. The agents get to know each other better. They get to just interact and network. We probably will have a handful of suppliers come on, so that they could be a write-off. I should say. And we're just going to enjoy a cruise. I'll put it out there. It's probably going to be a cruise. So if you join us, you're welcome to come on.
That is super fun. And I mean, it's funny. we didn't plan this question, and here it is. It worked out perfect for you. I wish I had some streamers or something, because happy 30th anniversary.
Well,
I
thank you very
wanted
much.
to toot a horn and have streamers come down for that as soon as you said it, but maybe next time. But no, congratulations. That's amazing on 30 years.
Thank you.
So it's Host Week, and we have Host Week specials, and I hear you have something that you're offering. I'd love to hear more about it.
Yeah, so the CRM that we moved to in 2020 is Client Ease. We offer the basic version of Client Ease free to all of our agents. If our agents have sub agents, they get it for free as well. What we are offering as our special is an upgrade to the full version of Client Ease, which includes more reporting, more details that they can save about their clients. They have reminders for their for birthdays and anniversaries of their clients, and of course reminders for their for the payments for their bookings. So we will be offering for a 1-year subscription free to the agents of the full version.
Wow, that's amazing. What a great Host Week special. Thank you so much for offering that. We'll actually put a link in the comments to go to that offer for people to check out.
Great.
Robert, thank you for being here. So much fun chatting with you about Incentive Connection Travel, and happy 30th anniversary.
Thank you.
Onward with Host Week. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, April. I appreciate it. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. Bye.
Bye.
So happy to hear what ICT has been up to, and thank you for participating in our Host Week specials, Robert. If you are just coming in, welcome. We've got one more host to interview today, which we'll get to in just a second. But for those of you wanting to rewatch a host, or if you missed a few hosts, head on over to our Host Week playlist on HAR's YouTube channel, and you'll find everything you need there. So let's keep this cart rolling. April, let's go ahead and see what's happening at Travel Planners International.
Hello, everyone. April from Host Agency Reviews here. I'm sitting down with Jen Lee, no relationship to our Stephanie Lee, from Travel Planners International. Hi, Jen. How are you?
I'm so good. However, I do want to be adopted by Steph's family. I love them.
Right? They're so sweet. I love it. And great personalities. Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
So let's jump right into it. It's Host Week. We have lots of stuff going on. We want to learn more about Travel Planners International. So let me get right into the first question.
Sure.
So what's new this past year with Travel Planners International?
Yeah, lots of things happened. Even though we had to reduce our staff, we've been able to start adding back to our team here at corporate. But one of the most exciting things that we were able to do is we launched our own proprietary CRM. So it's a CRM that TPI owns. It's connected to our back office. So our advisors are able to start quotes and just with one click of a button, submit their sale, tons of reports. We're super excited that we were able to do that. And we joined Signature Travel Network. So that's a big deal as well. So it's been a crazy, fantastic year. We put on 9 events, in-person events. We actually shied away from doing the virtual events. We're in the travel industry. We believe we should travel and be together. We understand the value and the power of being with one another. So, I mean, lots of stuff, but those are some of the highlights. Yeah, it's kind of exciting.
That's amazing. I love the in-house CRM, and it just makes it so much more convenient and easier to use and so on. So that's amazing.
Yeah, and with our Signature Travel Network, we were able to negotiate an itinerary app. They get it for free. Our advisors get it for free, and for only $50 a year, they can customize it to their own branding. So, we're this year gave us a chance to really dive into more of that. It's your brand, your business, your identity. We're just here to walk alongside you from a sales, marketing, and back office support. And we just added a new VP of sales and marketing. My role has changed to focus on the industry even more. And we've brought in Pam Scott, who's a long time, I don't want her to sound old, but she's been in the industry a long time. So she's joined us as our new VP of sales and marketing. So that's just amping up the opportunity for support between our partners and our advisors. It's good stuff, really good stuff.
That's awesome and so great to hear. So staying with TPI, I'd love to know what makes your company unique.
Well, I have my own personal opinion about what makes us unique, but I'd rather kind of say what other people say that makes us so unique. Our advisors tell us it is the support, big time support that we have here at TPI, not just through calling us or through the chat feature, but also the support that comes from the community within TPI. We're really proud of the 4,200 advisors that we have, that the average tenure of an advisor with TPI has gone up over 2 years in the last 6 years. So in other words, the average tenure of somebody staying with us was only about 4 years, again, on average, and now it's gone up to 6 years. So that's telling us that we're doing something right. We have advisors that have been with us for 15, 20 years. We're family owned. And I know that's not unique, but it's pretty special. So it's the support, the community, and we like to have fun. We are very much into the fun, come as you are, hard charging, passionate individuals, treat you like an entrepreneur. We understand what that is. It's 7 days a week. So I think that's what we hear our advisors say, that we call them by name. They're not a code. Everybody knows one another. All the advisors are supporting one another. It's a big family.
I love that. I love that. And fun is definitely you, Jen. I mean, seriously, you definitely bring that.
I do, except for my hair's a little flat today. But other than that, it's fun here. We want to have fun.
So let's talk about travel advisors. This is the week 4 travel advisors, and I'd love to know 3 words that would describe your ideal travel advisor.
Business minded. We want them to understand this is a business. This is not a hobby. Even if you do it part-time, it's not a hobby. We want you to be profitable. We want you to meet whatever financial goals you've set for yourself. So you need to be business minded and open to understanding there's a lot of layers to your business. We're here to help you with it, but you've got to be business minded. I would say passion is another word. We get along well. We do well with advisors that on a Saturday at 4 o'clock, they've got this unique idea. They've got this eureka moment idea, and they're reaching out to the community to say, I have this idea. What are your thoughts on this? Because you just can't sleep, right? You're just so passionate about what you do and who you do it for and why you do it. And then I would say the word fun. Those that do really well with TPI, grow their business, say that they like being part of our crazy family atmosphere, or those that just, it's a work hard, play hard type thing. You gotta have to have fun. You've gotta want to have fun. There's no competition. Really in the industry, there's no competition. And so you want to have fun and you want to enjoy the fun. We play rock and music at our events. We hug and kiss one another. Yeah, with COVID, even with COVID, we did it. You want to have fun and have passion. So those are the 3 words: business minded, passionate, just ridiculously passionate, and a penchant for fun.
I love that. Those are great words and a great way to describe your ideal travel advisor.
Yeah.
So let's see. So we just got into 2022. So love to know what's going on with TPI in 2022 and what you have coming.
Yeah, well, so with the addition of Pam Scott, it's given us an opportunity to take a look at our internal teams. Again, like most businesses, you're constantly looking at your structure, what's working, what's relevant, what's not, what should we be doing next. And so now adding Pam, probably the biggest difference is it gives us a chance to really segment and dive even deeper into our advisor space, our advisor network, our family of advisors. So we're launching a ton of specialty Facebook groups. We already have a bunch, but launching more, a group just for millennials. We're launching a group because we've partnered with TIMA, Travel Industry Marketing Association, and our travel partners. We're going to launch a group of people who are all about marketing from a social standpoint, and we're going to dive deep into that and learn from one another and provide extra resources there. We're going to launch another group that's going to be just, river cruises, another one that's just family focused, so that as an advisor, you can pop into any of these groups and get your questions answered. we've developed about 4 different concepts, new concepts for education, both virtually and in person. So we're going to be launching those. You know, it's a lot of this really connecting with one another. With my new position, one of my most favorite things I get to do, and I don't know where we can put this, I just thought of this, April, though. I've opened myself up to 15-minute power sessions with me, and our advisors at any point can just click on the link and plop themselves into my calendar, and we'll spend 15 minutes together just diving into something specific about their business. And I'm going to open that up to anybody that's actually listening, whether you're with TPI or not. I don't really care. So I don't know where we could put that link, but let's do it because, you know, we just have a passion for growing the industry and elevating the professionalism of the industry. Super important. And diving even deeper into ACTA, which a little bit later on, we're going to talk about how we're going to help 5 people be able to take advantage of ACTA. So yeah, that's really the focus for 2022, is just really segmenting and really helping from a niche standpoint, providing specific services and education and opportunities and introductions, you know, specific to what that advisor is needing.
No, that's great. And you know what? I mean, what we can do, because I'm sure people are dying for those 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, let's add that into our special. So we'll get that in there. And we'll talk a little bit more about the special that you're offering in a minute.
Yeah.
But no, those are all great. I think it's going to be a great 2022 for TPI, and that's super exciting. So let's talk about the new advisor, and I'm sure there's plenty watching right now. If you're watching, throw in a comment. We'd love to hear from you.
And welcome.
Right? Welcome to this amazing industry. I guess, so my question is going to be, what tip would you give a new advisor?
I would give a new advisor, do the work up front that's necessary to set yourself up for success. Work on your workflows, your processes, answer the question, who do I want to serve and how do I want to serve them? Find podcasts and webinars, and I know Host Agency Reviews has a ton of resources. Really do the hard work up front before you start marketing yourself. And if you've already done that and now you're in that marketing phase, be bold. I need you to be bold that you own a travel agency, that you are an agency owner. When someone says, what do you do for a living? Get away from all these flowery, colorful, pie in the sky. I curate, blah, 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 with unicorns and daffodils. No, I own a travel agency that focuses on whatever that is. Family travel. Mm-hmm. I own a travel agency here in Central Michigan. Start with, I own a travel agency. We as an industry have to do double the work that any other industry has to do, because not only do we have to sell the consumer on utilizing a travel advisor, but we also have to remind the consumer that there are advisors out there. And so you can't walk around saying, oh, I add value, because nobody knows what that means. Instead, you want to walk around and say, I own a travel agency. All your social channels, everywhere you go. Processes and foundations first. And then when you're marketing, be bold with your marketing.
Love that. Love that. And so we at HAR like to have fun, and just like TPI.
Yeah.
And so let's get to our fun question. Ready?
Sure.
So if TPI had a company theme party, what would that theme be and why?
Oh my gracious. If TPI had a company theme party, what would it be? It would probably be, this might sound negative, but it's really positive. It would probably be funny roasts. Like, you know how people roast people they love and that they admire so much? Mm-hmm. That would probably be what it is, to bring out the funny things that everyone else notices about someone in a way that's loving. I think that's what it would be, because we're very transparent here. What you see is what you get here at corporate. And we encourage our advisors to do the same and our partners to do the same. So it would have to be something around like, what you see is what you get. And here's what it is. Probably something like that.
I like that. It sounds fun. It's kind of a let loose and get to know people kind of situation.
Yes.
So I love that. That's great.
Yes. Yeah. We're all humans. None of us are perfect. So let's have fun.
No, absolutely. So, we just talked about something else we'll be adding on for the Host Week special, but I know you did have another special, so let's chat about that.
Yeah, so at TPI, we are obsessed with your success as a travel advisor, and a huge part of that is being part of our travel advisor association, which is ACTA. That is the association that fights hard to promote and protect each travel advisor. And we find that there's a lot of advisors when they're first starting out, maybe they don't have the money to join ACTA, and we want to fix that for you. So our special is for the first 5 advisors that join TPI after listening to this and using the code, which I guess I can tell them the code, Travel Advisors Rock. So for the first 5 advisors that join us, we will pay for your 1-year membership for ASTA, either a new membership, or if you're a current member, kudos to you, we will pay for your renewal. So it's the first 5 that take advantage of that. And the code is Travel Advisors Rock.
I love that. I mean, what
and
a
you
great
just come
deal.
to us for it. You got to come to us for it. They don't have it at ASTA.
No, absolutely. I mean, what a great deal and a great way to support the industry, and also just to kind of learn more and dive more into the industry. I think that's amazing. So kudos. Well, Jen, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate your time and hearing more about TPI. So thank you so much. And everybody continue watching Host Week. We're super excited.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Ooh, I can't wait to be roasted by TPI. I hate to be the girl that's inviting herself to all of the theme parties, but I am that girl. So, yay. And I love the support for ASTA and the exclusive Host Week deal. Thank you, TPI. If you're watching and you're not super familiar with ASTA, do not worry. We've got a couple things to get you up to speed. So we're going to put a link into the comments for the 2 ASTA sessions from earlier this week. So the first one is ASTA's Senior Vice President, Mark Meter. He goes over what ASTA is, kind of gives an update on advocacy efforts, where they've been fighting for us, where they're still struggling but pushing. And then the second one is me, Mark, and Michelle going over ASTA's roadmap to becoming a travel advisor course. And Har worked with ASTA very closely to develop that course last year, and we highly recommend it if you're newer to the travel industry. We'll put that link in the comments as well. Now, today's hosts were only a small slice of the hosts we're featuring this week. Tomorrow, we have some host interviews again at 12:45 Central Time. We'll be chatting with AAA hosts, which are located all across the country. We have Uniglobe Travel Center, Avoya Travel, and cruise planners. So now I'm going to take a short break, but the day is not done, folks, because we have some Supplier Love coming in at 2:50 p.m. Central Time. And then we've got another think tank at 3 p.m. with Richard D'Ambrosia on how to craft a founder story that sells. So keep that tab open and you'll hear some happy music shortly. And that's when you know that the love bombing of our Supplier Love segment is about to start. So see you soon. Well, welcome back. We are streaming every single day live this week with host interviews, think tanks, inspirational keynotes, and more. So we have had over 1,300 advisors sign up for our second annual host week, and we are so thrilled with the turnout. So thank you for coming. Thank you for participating. Mwah! We couldn't have done it definitely without all your beautiful faces and the support of all the hosts, suppliers, advisors, associations, coaches, and other industry partners who participated to help this make this happen and make it successful. So included in that, of course, is our sponsors, Avoya Travel, Uniglobe Travel Center, Nexion Travel Group, and Lavarte Travel. They allowed us to make this a free event for the community. So the Supplier Love segment is pretty easy to describe. I don't know. I guess the following, there's no other way to say it. The following will be a love bomb from our friends at Brendan Vacations, Collette, Arch Roamright, Contiki Vacations, Vax Vacation Access, and last but not least, Red Carnation Hotels. Are you ready?
Hello, it's Sarah here from Brendan Vacations. And I just wanted to come on and say a goreva mila maya got, which is thank you so much in Irish Gaelic for your ongoing support for you fabulous independent consultants. We appreciate you so much. You know, there is a saying in Ireland, they say that the Irish put the story in history. And you guys are telling our Celtic story every single day. And for that, we are so thankful. You know, we have an amazing team over here in the States. You have your local district sales manager, our reservations team, along with myself to support you. Did you know we also have a Celtic team on the ground in Dublin, led by Catherine Riley? We are there as a Celtic team behind the wee blue door in Dublin, and we're there to help handcraft those amazing itineraries for your clients when they come visit. And we're going to get our guests to meet the locals along the way who we've developed these relationships with. Again, we're here to support you and make sure it's a seamless experience for you in working with Brendan Vacations. No matter if it's a romantic getaway for a couple or an ancestry trip or some type of celebration or maybe a bit of golf, we have something for everyone, and let us do all the work for you. Thank you again for everything that you do. We appreciate all our independent consultants. You guys are rock stars.
Hello, everyone. My name is Julie Kelly. I'm the Supplier Relationship Manager at Collette, and I am beyond excited for the opportunity really just to say thank you so much for all that you've done, kind of all that we've collectively been through in the last 22-ish months, really for hanging in there and supporting us and supporting your guests. It's been a wild ride, and I know at the end of it, we're plugging away and we're going to come through it. And I just want you to understand that we appreciate you so much. You know, at Collette, we had to give back about $150+ million when when COVID first started, and we refunded our guests. We made the right decision to give our guests the option to either refund or move to a different date or a different tour or take a voucher. And I think inevitably that's really helped you, the advisor, to be able to say to your client, hey, you got your money back. And when you're ready, we can book again. So whatever we can do to try to help support you, that's really our goal. Coming out of COVID too, we started our advanced commission program. So every booking that you make, once it's under deposit, we're going to send you some of your commission. It's just our way of trying to say thank you to you. We know that, your revenue stream was cut off the minute the borders closed. And although we were also panicking along with you, we decided, okay, how can we give back? So, that's a program that we started, and it's here to stay. We were just going to keep going with it. So, really, I just want you to know that we appreciate you. I am excited to work with you in the future, and thank you so much for supporting Collette as we go into our 104th year. Be well.
Hi everyone, my name is Jen Haslacker and I'm an account manager with Arch Roam Rights. Roam Rights is a travel insurance provider that works directly with partners to help insure their clients' financial investments as well as provide benefits for their clients while they're on their trip, like medical evacuation, repatriation, trip delay, misconnection, lost baggage, just to name a few of the benefits that we do have in our policies. We work with individual travel advisors. We work with tour operators. We work with nonprofits. And my personal favorite is working with our host agencies. I'm so happy to be able to get on here and create a video just thanking our host agencies and celebrating our host agencies for all they've done, not only in 2022, but also not only in 2021, but also 2020. And, just honoring and celebrating and recognizing their members. These members have really, kept it together for the last 2 years, and they're positive, they're excited, they're ready for the the new year, and it's really just kept me energized. So really, this is a thank you for everything you have done, not only for the travel industry but for your clients, but for me too. I mean, I consider many of you friends, and I'm happy to call you friends. So here's to 2022. May it only bring positivity, except for your COVID tests. Hopefully they stay negative. Once again, my name is Jen Haslacker, and I'm an account manager with Arch Roam Rights. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Hey travel agents, my name is Amber and I'm a district sales manager for Contiki. We just want to say we are so grateful for each and every one of you. You all are the backbone of the travel industry. We bring together travelers from all corners of the globe to discover new cultures and a little part of themselves along the way. Across our global trips, we sort out the stressful stuff like transport and accommodation, leaving your guests with unique travel experiences they wouldn't be able to book on their own. Throughout their trip, our expert trip managers and local guides use their local insights to help them discover authentic sides to the places they visit. As travel agents selling Contiki, you are helping our demographic of 18 to 35-year-olds get out and see the world in a safe, stress-free, and immersive way. We recognize your expertise and guidance you provide, and we thank you. We're always looking for ways to support you, whether that is product or sales training, booking groups, or marketing materials. We would love to help. If you ever need anything, please do not hesitate to reach out, and thank you again.
Hello, I'm Beth Kitzman, the Business Development Manager for VAX Vacation Access. VAX has been an integral part of the industry for 20 years when our leaders envisioned technology that would modernize the travel industry for advisors. And that was when we launched VAX exclusively for you, our valued travel professionals, as a web-based travel advisor booking technology. Since then, we've grown to far more than a booking engine. We exist to enable travel advisor success. It's our simple promise to you. VAX is truly a neutral party. As the leisure travel marketplace, we are here to support you by increasing your efficiency and knowledge to grow your business and market impact. We strive to give you the resources to earn, learn, and grow so that you can be the best travel advisor you can possibly be. Additionally, we provide exclusive industry content curated from leaders around the industry, including host executives and advisors sharing their perspective and expertise to benefit the industry. The Compass on VAX provides shareable content designed to expand your reach, educate your clients, and inspire their next vacations. Our growth on VAX has been driven by your growth as travel advisors. As hosted advisors have led the growth in the industry, our focus has grown to ensure we are meeting the needs of your business model. We are always listening to your feedback and recommendations and using that to help us define our path to continue expanding and enhancing the leisure travel marketplace, integral to your professional success. Together, we have all had to overcome many obstacles. but you are the small business owners driving the recovery. Rebound and successes we're seeing throughout our industry today. VAX is committed to providing you content, training resources, and an award-winning booking engine that you can turn to day after day. We are inspired by you and deeply grateful for each and every one of you. We are committed to working with you, and we thank you for your dedication, hard work, and commitment to us, as well as the entire industry. Thank you.
Hi, Melissa here from Red Carnation Hotels, a collection of family-owned and operated luxury boutique hotels that include such properties as Ashford Castle in Ireland, the Milestone in London, 12 Apostles in Cape Town, to name just a few. I'm really happy to be here today to say a huge thank you to our IC partners. You are a growing and important community within our industry, and we absolutely love to partner with you. Please know that at Red Carnation Hotels, we understand that your clients are your lifeblood, and we want to help you nurture those relationships. If you trust us with your clients, I promise that we'll do our very best to ensure that they have the best of what we can offer, and all the while making you look like the rock star. So please feel free to reach out. We hope to work more closely together with you in the future. And thank you again for all of your support.
I warned you, didn't you? Didn't I? Like, lots of love. So we are running a little bit late, so no break this time. We're going to run straight into our next section where we have Maureen and Richard D'Ambrosio getting ready to get your wheels thinking. Your wheels turning? Yeah, your wheels turning with today's Think Tank. We'll be talking about telling your story, how to craft a founder's story that sells. So before we dive in, if this is your first Think Tank this week, I want to remind you that the Think Tanks all have a follow-up session that's interactive and live because the recordings were done ahead of time. So Richard is going to give you some homework, and then you'll meet together next week on February 3rd at 2 p.m. Central Time to go over the homework, get feedback if you have questions. But this is the trick. In order to attend, you have to register so that we can send you the link. So you can sign up at har.news/thinktankme. We'll put the link in the comments. And then you'll go ahead and get an email with the link on where to meet next week. So with that, let's have you take it away, Maureen.
Thanks, Stephanie, and welcome to our audience members joining us today for today's Think Tank, Storytelling That Sells, Uncovering Your Compelling Narrative and Attracting Clients to Increase Sales. I just quickly also want to mention that to make sure that next Thursday, February 3rd at 2 p.m. Central Time, we will have an interactive Think Tank follow-up session called Sharing and Tightening Up Your Narrative. And we're going to make sure that we go ahead and put a link into the comments for the interactive think tank for everybody that is joining us. And also keep in mind, this is pre-recorded, but feel free to share your comments anytime during the presentation, and we will be happy to answer them for you. So our speaker today is Richard D'Ambrosio, founder of Travel Mastermind Business. Richard will be walking the audience through with ideas on how to create a compelling narrative and story that sells. Welcome, Richard, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks so much, Maureen.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on and helping us out during Host Week. I wanted to just kind of quickly touch base with you because you have a very unique niche within the travel industry. And I was just wondering if you could kind of give just a quick introduction to everybody in case they're not aware of who you are and what we are going to be covering today.
Sure. Well, I mean, my background is why I'm here today. I tell people all the time, I have been telling stories since 5th grade. And I learned literally in 5th grade that stories had a unique power to draw people in. In this case, it was my 5th grade teacher and my mom and dad, and get people to connect with concepts and emotions at a deeper level than standard prose. And so what I've been doing over the last 30 some odd years of my life is I've been a journalist. I've written stories for various newspapers and other publications. But then I've also done a lot of corporate communications. I worked for Sir Richard Branson for a year as his head of PR at Virgin Atlantic Airways. I did 15 years at American Express in different storytelling capacities, either public relations or employee communications or leadership development. And all of those disciplines that I participated in that role was the greatest impact we got with an audience was when we told a story. You can tell a salesperson, this is the process for attracting a prospect and getting in the door and then closing. But if you tell them a couple of examples of how people have done it, the examples stick harder, longer, better with a salesperson. And that's kind of what this whole Travel Business Mastermind company is about, is trying to help entrepreneurs, mostly travel advisors, figure out, how do I take my content and make it more engaging? Because what I send out, I need feedback from my sales prospects and clients to build my business.
Absolutely. And it's tough out there because, everybody's kind of selling really the same products out there. So it's really coming down to how to make you unique and stand out so that you are attracting those clients as well.
Absolutely. The most common question that I ask to my clients is, well, why you? Why you off of Expedia? Why you versus going direct? Why you versus 2,000 other travel advisors?
Right.
Why you? And once you know how to respond to that, why me? Not only do you have a story that sells, but you're also going to see sort of the serendipitous consequences of being focused on your story. You're going to have a higher level of focus in your business. You're going to have a greater perception of who your ideal client is. So I'm putting this all together in a book that'll be published in February. It's my first book.
Oh, fantastic.
Called Storytelling That Sells. And, the whole concept is to get people to read tactics and strategies side by side with stories. And then hopefully you start to see how this all works.
How it all ties in. Oh, that's great. So, and I just want to remind everybody that, they can feel free to share any comments that they have throughout the presentation in the comments, and we would be happy to answer them. Just remember, it is pre-recorded. So Richard, if you want to get started on how an advisor is going to go about creating that story.
Well, the first story that I wanted to tell on this session, and thanks for having me host Agency Reviews, is the story of where we are right now, because it's very relevant to how you're going to market and sell your business. So if you're paying attention to some of the trends that are out there, and I track data 7 days a week, right now we have fallen back a little bit from the peak of interest in traveling. If you look at, for example, the Airlines Reporting Corporation shows what advanced bookings look like. Guess what? We were so close to being under 10% down from where we were last year. And because of Omicron, we're slipping backwards again. Yeah. But the great news is that the interest in working with you, a travel advisor, is infinitely larger. According to Airlines Reporting Corporation, your bookings, your airline transaction bookings, are higher right now than the online travel agencies. So that's great news right now if you're a travel agent. Some other great news comes from Destination Analysts. It's a company I've been following since March of 2020. So I've got over a year and a half's worth of data with them. But according to them, 76% of American adults say that they're either already traveling, ready to travel with no hesitations, or ready to travel, but they're a little bit trepidation going on in there. That's 76% total. 24% of American adults say, I'm already traveling. And what this means, if you were to put this in a story, is that consumers came into last year pining to travel again, the lockdowns and all of the issues that we had. For people who love to travel, and that's the bulk of Americans, they wanted to come back. But then we started throwing all of these little obstacles at them. PCR tests, vaccinations, quarantine rules, travel insurance rules. And what travelers started to see on that narrative arc of a story was, oh my goodness, this is complicated. This is not like traveling was. Even for destinations like Mexico, which were relatively easy to visit. Right. And so what did we start to see in the media last year? The story was, you don't want to book without an expert travel advisor because they're going to give you an enhanced sense of security and they're going to simplify the vacation planning process. So remember, I just gave you a bunch of facts and things that were happening, and then I summarized it into a story of a consumer who wants to travel, realizes it's not so simple anymore. Right. But every now and then they hear about this person called a travel advisor and they say, maybe that's my solution. The moral of the story, travel advisors will make me safer and make the vacation planning process simpler. That's what we're going to explore now about you.
Fantastic. And like you said, a travel advisor is more important now than they have ever been.
Easily.
So it's such a great time for, and we are seeing, especially at Host Agency Reviews, we are seeing such an uptake in the number of brand new travel advisors coming into the industry, which is fantastic.
Yep. So now, with all of these travel advisors coming into the industry and the travel advisors who've made it through these dark times, we as a collective group have to start taking the superpowers inside us, the core belief systems, the mission behind our business, and we have got to start projecting that out to the universe and say, I am right for you. And one of the main things that I tell travel advisors and clients of any kind is, look, you are meant for a certain type of client. Not every client or prospect should be your client.
Right.
Stop worrying that a particular client called you, checked you out, and didn't purchase from you. There was a reason why they didn't purchase from you, and it has probably less to do with you than with them, what their needs are, what their wants are. So one of the things that I always do when I get new clients, when they take my programs, is I start with getting you right. 90% of my clients don't understand what makes them unique. When I ask them to fill out a form, which is one of the assignments you're going to get for the think tank in February, when they fill out the form, they fill it out in a very ambiguous fashion. And what I hear coming off that page is the reason why they feel worried about having to take on every client, or just covering everything in their social media, or having their website cover every type of travel. Right. The reason why is because they don't know what makes them unique. But what I'm going to tell you is, for any business owner, you compete for the heart and mind of your sales prospect and client before you compete for the actual transaction. If they have choices about who they want to purchase from and they don't understand what makes you unique, then you've lost them from the very beginning. And even if you do keep them, there's going to be more friction in the sales process. They're going to take longer to close. Yep. They maybe won't buy what you would have sold them. You offer them 2 or 3 options on itineraries. When they tell you they want to go to the Caribbean, they're going to pick the cheapest one because they haven't bought into what you stand for yet. And that little extra of who you are and what you are and why you do what you do is infinitely important to your business. And if you ever read one of the great marketing guys, Simon Sinek, he talks about the golden circle. And what he says to all of us is, most of us, when we are projecting our business out there, we start from the outer part of the core. This is what I do. So let's take Richard D'Ambrosio, for example. If I was doing this wrong, what I would say is, I educate travel advisors and entrepreneurs on how to be better storytellers. How do you do that, Richard? I do it through one-on-one consulting, and I've got an online education program. Well, why do you do that, Richard? Why? Because I have over 30 years found the power of storytelling and how it has made me a better business person. It's made me a better person. And because I've got this passion for this, I am able to help my clients find out the same thing and let that superpower go to work for them. That's the incorrect way. The correct way was to start from the why. Richard, why do you do this? I do this because I believe that every business owner can close a higher percentage of sales with a higher transaction average and just enjoy the business more if they start from their stories and which tell their why. Well, how do you do that, Richard? Well, I do it through this, this, and this. And in the end, what I am is an educator and coach. I want you to think of you and your business the same way. And 90% of you don't. When I say, well, what do you do for a living? They say, I sell travel. I say, really? So does Expedia. So does Carnival Cruise Lines. They sell travel too. Why you? And then we get them to start working from that core on the way out. So when you see the first assignment sheet, it's about 8 or 10 questions that are trying to draw out from you your why. If you were to take one of my programs, it's a lot more intense than that. There's actually 3 pages on the first assignment and then another assignment with 3 more pages. And what I gradually do over time is I draw you into opening up and seeing your own patterns, your own why on your own. Because it's not for me to decide. It's not for your clients to decide. It's not for any, mentor to decide. You've got to figure out what your why is, but you need that space to go find it. And what you will do over time is you will start to realize that that is connected to why people love you. And one of my favorite examples, I pulled this off of a website from a travel agency. There was a specific travel advisor. Her name is Amber. And the client's name was Stephanie. And Stephanie dropped a testimonial on their website. It's in paragraph form. It's got all, 12 or 14 lines, and there's a lot of facts in there. And what I do in my course is I take Stephanie's testimonial and I convert it into a story. So Stephanie was trying to take her small children to her mom and dad's homeland in Europe for a vacation, but she was afraid of doing it because of a bunch of reasons. Number one, there was a lot of complexity to doing this. They were going to go visit small villages. They had children as young as 9, and one of the parents was as old as 78. And so Stephanie had a lot of concerns. Well, guess what? In the narrative arc, that's what we call the exposition scene, the setup. When you turn on a television show, most of the times you enter into the television show in a scene where you're kind of understanding, here are the characters, here's what's going on right now. Maybe there's not a lot of action going on, but I know some things about both what's happening in the present and who these people are, and I'm being set up for rising action. So in Stephanie's case, her story would be, I was worried about planning a trip for ages 9 to 78 because we're going back to the cities where my parents were born. And I found this travel agent named Amber. And boy, she was so communicative to me throughout the whole planning process that my fear of all of these different pieces fitting together, that I didn't have to worry because Amber was always talking to me. And the materials that she sent to me kept me organized. The schedules were clear. I had all these local contacts in case I had any problems while I was in market. And oh my goodness, the hotels were wonderful. The rooms were beautiful. They were great breakfast because you got to put a good meal in a child's belly if they're not going to be complaining all morning and afternoon before lunch on a vacation.
Very
so
true.
that was important to Stephanie. And the boys loved feeling the parents' childhood stories coming to life in these towns. And they visited Germany, apparently. There was Munich and Salzburg, which is Austria. And what Stephanie basically said in her testimonial was, you took away the stress and you helped create this wonderful travel experience. Yep. That is the story of Amber. Amber is the person who listens to the emotions of her clients. She focuses on the key areas where she can alleviate that stress and issue. She does all of that magic that a great travel advisor does.
Yep.
And that's different than Stephanie sending an email to her for a testimonial that says, Amber's a really great travel agent. She booked a fantastic family vacation for us. The hotels were fantastic. Boy, was that an unforgettable family memory. Most testimonials look like that.
Right.
But why am I, as a parent who might be attracted to you as a travel advisor, going to choose you over 7 other travel agents who do a wonderful job communicating and creating memorable experiences, unless I can put myself in Stephanie's shoes? And again, what that says to you is there are some parents who are not high stress, high anxiety, worried. They're the DIYers who eventually find their way to a travel advisor because they want your discounts, or they want your contacts, or they want the extra service. But Stephanie's story may not have spoke to that travel consumer. But if you're focusing on people like Stephanie, you want to tell more of her compelling stories. And maybe Absolutely. Even some of the stories about how you as a parent went through Stephanie's experiences and how you appreciate your own knowledge and the way that you've built your business. That's what powerful storytelling is like.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I just like the fact that it's, Amber was able to realize that it was her concerns of how do I go about setting all this up seems so overwhelming. And then to be able to take that worry away and in the end create just this amazing vacation for the entire family and visiting their homeland in Europe, which is fantastic.
So, it really is so much about that. And what I tell people is when you first start out, if you've been in business for 2 or 3 years, I don't want the excuse that you don't know that you have the content. You do. Yeah. It's either sitting up in your memory because you never got somebody to write a testimonial and put it on your website, or you've got those emails stored away somewhere in your archives. Go find them. Those are the stories.
Yeah.
And if you can mentally remember them, fantastic. But if you can go find the details, reading those testimonials over again, and then figuring out how to storify it, that's the key. I'll give you one more story before we jump into preparing you for the think tank. Great. So I've got a really dear friend of mine. She's a travel advisor for many, many years. She and I actually overlapped during my time at American Express. And at the very beginning of the pandemic, she posted on social media at the beginning of April the story of how she saved the daughter of one of her best clients. Her daughter, the client's daughter, was in Sardinia on a vacation / student kind of college trip. The world is coming to an end. Europe is shutting down due to all of the travel bans.
Yeah.
And the flights are starting to lock up. And the client, my client, didn't book this trip, but she jumped in because it's a loyal client.
Right.
And she went about using her contacts to figure out how to get this woman on an Alitalia flight back to Rome, because she could get her on a flight from Rome back to New York or to wherever the woman was going. Yeah. And the way that Barbara told the story, by the time the whole thing was done, the social media post, she had over 35 comments. People were chiming in. The woman whose daughter was saved was praising Barbara for her dedication and commitment to her child. So now let's storify that from the parent's perspective, because they're the client. My daughter is stuck in Europe. A potentially deadly virus is raging across the continent, Europe. Now it's becoming infinitely more difficult for my daughter to get safely home to me, and the two of us are scared. I called my friend Barbara because Alitalia's website was worthless. The info on there about their schedules and what seats were available was unreliable. And Barbara, using WhatsApp, connecting me and my daughter, started telling us how she was going to explore getting my daughter home. And because she was in constant contact, updating me on her successes and failures in trying to use her expertise, I started to lose some of my fear. Barbara was able to get my daughter on one of those last few seats back to Rome and back to the United States. Barbara is a parent's best friend, because what's more important than the safety and security and health of our children? And when she takes her own experiences as a mom and applies it to her clients, you couldn't ask for a better travel advisor.
Yeah,
How about that for a testimonial versus Barbara's got 20 years of experience and she's an expert in all the different airlines and she's got contacts across every supplier. Totally different.
Totally. Yeah, because, in all honesty, you want to go with the narrative of, look what she actually did. She took her time in finding a way to help bring her friend's, child home during a very difficult time.
Yep. What I can tell you is when I tell stories on my LinkedIn page, on my Facebook page, infinitely more engagement. Is it with everybody? No, because so many people can't relate to what I wrote. But for those people who, in that euphemism, ideal client, did connect with that piece and commented, I now have a piece of information about them that tells me they fit a certain psychographic, right, that if I'm going to sell a certain product, they're better ideal clients than everybody else who follows me. That's the way you use social media. That's the way, to some degree, you could use your website if you set it up right to track who's coming in and engaging. And certainly that's the best way to use your email, is when you start telling more stories and you're seeing your open rates go up, and if you're forcing people to click through to somewhere, you've engaged them. That's when storytelling actually starts to sell for you.
Right.
So we want to get you thinking this way. So what we've done is set up a follow-up think tank. It's going to be in a Facebook room with Host Agency Review, scheduled for Thursday, February 3rd at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. What you need to do to prepare for that think tank, to get some real work out of this, is we're going to have 2 worksheet assignments for you. I'd prefer if you complete both, but if you only complete one or the other, that's okay. We can work with that. Because what the worksheets do separately and in tandem is they help you start to dig deeper into your why. They give you the chance to look at some of your existing content and say to yourself, this is the way I posted. What if I had done a story instead of a straight post the way I did? What if I can remember a story that relates to that supplier or that destination, that points out my expertise but doesn't sell it? It draws the potential sales prospect into a narrative where they go, oh my goodness, I want to do that. I want to be that person in that story. So you audit your existing content. And then finally, what we're going to do on the think tank is try to get you to commit to deploying at least one change based on what you've learned about storytelling. So please, we're going to provide the 2 PDFs to you.
Yep.
What I'm going to tell you is this, as I start to wrap this up, is this isn't always an easy process. I have clients who've been with me for 6 months, and they're still struggling with this because they're not open to opening themselves up. And I've got to work on them slowly. And what I say to people is sometimes it takes a little while for your stories to reveal themselves to you. My story, and 10 years ago, a little less than 10 years ago, I was considering myself a public relations executive, an employee communications executive, a leadership development, sales, client management training coach. I was giving myself all these labels. And there were 2 people in my life at the time who said to me, this way that you project yourself, that's not what I see. Rich, you're a master storyteller. When you teach sales and client management, you teach it from the perspective of stories. When you talk about yourself, you talk about yourself not as who you are and what you are, you talk in stories. Mm-hmm. And there I was, 50 some odd years old, finally waking up to the idea that, oh my God, that's my superpower. How did I not see this? So don't beat yourselves up if this feels cumbersome at times, because the stories come the more you practice them. Yeah. And sometimes you need a coach, or like I did, 2 friends who pointed it out to me because I was too close to it. Feel free to come on over to travelbusinessmastermind.com, read some of our blogs about storytelling. We also have a private Facebook group about storytelling. And I don't know if you know this, but the annual National Storytelling Week is January 29th through February 4th. And I will be hosting a 5-day storytelling challenge during that week to commemorate this wonderful attempt to get us all to think about the great stories in our lives, what they mean to us, and how can we use our own storytelling skills to enrich our lives, whether it's personally or professionally. So my favorite quote right now, because I've had favorite quotes over time, is from St. Francis of Assisi. I'm Catholic, born, confirmed, the whole 9 yards. Studied the Bible for 4 years. I got certified by the Archdiocese of New York, so forgive me for being a Catholic. But Francis of Assisi said, "Be who you are and be it perfectly well." You are not a travel advisor. You don't sell travel. You are a human being who travel is a part of how you manifest yourself to the rest of us. Go find out who that person is and go be it perfectly well. The magic begins there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to remind everybody that we are going to go ahead and put both of the PDF worksheets in the comments for everybody so that they do have access to them. And then I know that Richard had already mentioned that we will be doing a follow-up interactive think tank next Thursday, February 3rd, and it's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is going to be a really great place for you to be able to look at those worksheets, go ahead, and it's going to be, because you're going to be sharing the worksheets with everybody there, correct? And then Richard's going to be giving you feedback and how to tighten up your narrative to really do some compelling storytelling with your being a travel advisor and your travel business as well. So we really appreciate that everybody for tuning in today. Thank you so much, Richard. I mean, that was such a unique and interesting niche that you have. And I love how passionate you are about what you are doing. And that passion really kind of comes through. And I think that's so rare in this day and age. So thank you so much. I mean, we really appreciate you to come out today and really connect with the advisors in teaching them how to take things to the next level with their storytelling and with being a travel advisor.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for having me.
You are more than welcome. And once again, thank you, everybody. And we are going to be going back to Steph now. But real quick, just wanted to remind everybody, don't forget that on Friday, we will have the Luminary Awards. We also have keynote speaker Shannon Stowell, who's the president of Adventure Travel Trade Association. Plus, we're going to have interviews with so many more host agencies. So make sure that you tune in on Friday as well. And we will be going back to Stephanie. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Maureen. And thank you so much, Richard. And there we have it. Another Host Week day under our belts. So what'd you think of it? Yay, nay, hooray? Let us know in the comments, because before we hang up the close sign, stick around because I'm going to run through what tomorrow holds. And I'm telling you, it is a really, really fun day. It might be the best day of Host Week. So if you have to run, make sure you're registered for Host Week at har.news/Host Week. That way we'll be able to send you a daily email with the schedule and the direct links to the previous day's recordings. So what is in store for you tomorrow? it's going to be a big party, first of all, and one that you don't want to miss. We are having our Luminary Awards ceremony. It is going to be a ton of fun to recognize the best of the best in the industry. You'll also hear the HAR team answer the theme party question that we've asked all the hosts. So we're starting things a little bit early tomorrow because we've got so much going on. So it's going to start at 11:30 Central Time tomorrow. And we're going to start with our Friday 15 podcast, which we do every week. And that's where we just answer your industry questions. And this week is no different. So at 11:30 Central Time, Maureen and her guest host will kick off our Friday schedule with the Friday 15. And I'm also really excited because our keynote at 12 p.m. Central Time is Shannon Stowell, the president of the ACTA, or the Adventure Travel Trade Association. And I will tell you that whether or not you sell adventure travel, you should tune in because adventure travel is often very misunderstood. And Shannon is just a wealth of information, a great perspective to look at. Let's see what else we've got. There's just a lot of good stuff on this schedule. I cannot wait for tomorrow's Think Tank because most of you know our senior editor, Mary Stein. You've read her articles. You know how talented she is. And now you can sit in on her session on how to generate and optimize content for your blog. So mark your calendars for tomorrow at 3:10 Central Time for Mary's Think Tank. And just a reminder that Host Week is a full-fledged week. So while it's Friday, we aren't stopping. We've got more for you on Saturday. We've got a session from the Travel Institute, and we've got interviews from our Travel Agent Chatter podcast with two extraordinary agents that have been very successful. So from all of us at Host Agency Reviews, both on the screen and off, thank you for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Central Time.